bespoke radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. How you doing? Fade to Black, bespoke radio for the masses. How are you? Today is Thursday, March 30th. 89 days into the new year, just 276 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the Planet. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? It's Thursday night. It's Fadernight. I'm in the chair. You can see that. Bunker Cam is live. Tonight is another Fadernight with Jon Rappoport and his No More Fake Newsroom Live. The call-in number is 323-825-5045. We've got a full show, full slate in front of us. Follow us on Twitter at JChurchRadio. On Twitter at JChurchRadio. Facebook, YouTube. Just go to our website. It's right there in front of you. Click on the little icons. You can follow, like, and subscribe, everything. Okay. The sandbox is hashtag F2B on Twitter. We do not bite. Come and hang out with us. We do 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 tweets every single night. It is Fader Nights Thursday. Conversation's going to be great. We've got a lot of stuff going on. Any questions or comments during the show, hashtag F2BQ. That's what you want to do. Now, you can email throughout the show tonight. Email is jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. Very simple, jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. Just make it good, make it smart, and it'll make its way in here to me. The night has arrived, so we're going to get to the contest and the giveaway in just a second. I've got everything here. We're going to give away this if you're just jumping in on the Bunker Cam. We're giving this away tonight, a Tascam DM100 Mark III digital recorder. I've got a memory card that I put in there for you. I think it's a 64 gig. All right, so there you go. That's courtesy of us. This is courtesy of Tascam. Go to their website, Tascam.com. Everything that you need for ghost hunting, recording, music, broadcast, podcast, everything that you need, Tascam manufactures the very best. They are the most professional audio company on planet Earth. Tascam, we're giving this away in a couple of minutes. All the names are in the hat. The hat is right here. All the last-minute entries are here. We'll stir this up one more. I've been stirring this baby up all day today, just making sure that that's just all stirred up. All right, so there we go. All the names are there, and we'll do that in just a second. But we have some breaking news. Pretty crazy. Right before the show tonight, literally right before the show tonight, a massive fire underneath Interstate 85 in Atlanta, Georgia, has engulfed and destroyed a portion of the highway and has left cars stranded in both directions. I've been watching the live feed coming in, and the traffic is insane. It's already insane in Atlanta, But going north and south, just backed up, and the way that they've had to deal with the traffic, it's absolutely crazy. I-85 northbound collapsed at Piedmont Road after less than an hour of the flames first being reported, and it was bad, man. I mean, it was huge, and I didn't know what it was or what could have caused it, and they still don't know. But it did collapse. So there you go. Our thoughts are with everybody in Atlanta. Tomorrow, Friday, that Friday morning traffic is going to be nothing nice. But what happened and how did that, I mean, underneath the freeway, right? Pretty insane. So there you go. Breaking news. Subscribe to our podcast. We have over 600 archive shows. Very simple. Custom apps, Apple, Android, all platforms. Just $2 a month. Just go to jimmychurchradio.com. Click on the podcast banner. All right, that's all you got to do. You've got everything that you need. So go to the iTunes store, go to Google, search Fade to Black, download the app, go to Libsyn, $2 a month, over 600 archive shows. You're done. All right? All of our sponsors are right there, too, at jimmychurchradio.com. Life Change Tea, GetTheTea.com, River Moon Coffee, Studio Dome Speakers. Of course, Tascam is there as well. All right? Just use the promo codes for discounts and free shipping on all of the banners. Everything that you need is there. That's how you support the show. Go and do it. And become a member. We got memberships all day today, trying to get in right before the end of the contest. We did the cutoff today at 4 p.m., and we had to because the software and the way things update and automate, we couldn't do it like at 7 p.m., right? It just wouldn't work. We wouldn't have gotten your names in. So we did the cutoff today at 4 p.m. If you got a membership after 4 p.m. today, and I think Rita had said to me earlier, I think the cutoff was 4 p.m. That's what we officially said. So if you got a membership after that, then you'll be in the drawing later on for this month. Okay? All right? Where am I at here? Contact in the Desert's coming up May 19th through the 22nd in Joshua Tree, California. Tickets and info over at jimmychurchradio.com. Friday night, we'll be hosting Fade to Black. We'll do the live broadcast from the Lotus Room. Saturday night, I'll be hosting the Forbidden Archaeology panel. And my panelists this year are Graham Hancock, Robert Bavall, Robert Schock, Andrew Collins, Brian Forrester, Carl Erberger. And that is Under the Stars from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the amphitheater. Yes, we are giving away passes for that, too, as well. We did that on Tuesday. Tonight, we're doing the contest, so we'll give some more passes away on Monday. And just go and enter. All you have to do is go and click on the contest banner. Passes non-transferable. Go and win the contest. But if you can't go, let us know. I think everybody that has won has been contacted through email now. Okay? And if you cannot go, let us know, and we'll draw another name because we only get one name at a time. Okay? That's just the way that it works. Let's get this show cracking. Let's do the drawing. Are you guys ready? Yes. Okay, this is it. This is the drawing this month for the Tascam DM100 Mark II. Look at all of these names. I mean, it's just hundreds of names. Hundreds of names. So I'm going to stir this up really, really. I shouldn't even look, right? But some of these are stuck on the bottom. Okay, all right. Okay. All right, I think everybody's got a fair crack at this. Are you ready? This is cool. Live on the air. Okay, it's all stirred up. Been stirring it up all day long. And drum roll, please. Man, I'm going to be all bummed out after we're done with this. You know, it's just, I feel like we should do another one. Okay, here we go. The drawing. The winner of the Tascam DM100 Mark III digital recorder is Michael Dove. Michael Dove. Michael Dove, you just won a Tascam DM100 Mark III digital recorder. Michael Dove, I hope you're listening right now, and we will contact you. There you go. Michael Dove, officially, that's the name that was drawn. Michael Dove. Rita, contact Michael Dove. Let him know. Maybe we can have him call into the show tonight, and that would be cool as well. All right, Michael Dove, congratulations. Tascam DM100 Mark III. Now, next month, we're doing this. I'm going to roll over here for a second. Next month, we're giving away this. I know that was bad radio. We're giving that away. Look at that. Studio Dome. Full stereo, Bluetooth system, 2 SBB2s, hard shell case, power supply cables, everything that you need. So that's what we're going to give away next month. And Rita's already got a couple of the prize packages for the months after that, too, as well. So very cool. All right. Oh, where am I? Let's get this show cracking. All right. Let's get this show cracking. Happy birthday to today. Guitar God Eric Clapton is 72. MC Hammer today is 55. Warren Beatty today is 80. Our dead guy's birthday today is Vincent van Gogh, 1853 to 1890. Committed suicide at the age of 37. You know the drill. Sunflowers, wheat fields, stars, Starry, Starry Night, the self-portraits, the portraits. He had no idea the influence that he would have on the entire art world or the world in general. And Van Gogh created, I'm going to say this was 1996. 1996, I'm in Detroit. And every city that I would visit when I was out there speaking and stuff, I would always go to the big art museum in town. So I've done it just in just about all the big cities across the country. So I go to DIA, Detroit Institute of the Arts, and they were doing some Egypt thing there, and I go to see that. It was pretty cool. And I'm walking out, and I turn and I see to my left, I see what I think is a Van Gogh self-portrait, and I spin and I look, and there is a Van Gogh exhibition. And I walk in, I was like, holy crap, you've got to be kidding me. There was nothing talking about this walking into the museum. It was all about Egypt, right? And I walk in, and they had a whole row of self-portraits on the wall. And I don't know how many. I don't know, 20, right? And I walk up to the front, and I'm just, wow, I was like, this is just incredible. They had all kinds of Van Gogh there. But it turns out, and I don't know if you know this, Van Gogh did 43 self-portraits between 1885 and 1889. I don't know how many I saw at DIA, but they had a big chunk of them there. And it was just one, and I was able to just walk up and nearly put my nose on each one of these and look at all of them and that they had. And that was as I was leaving the museum. I almost missed it. Wow. And on the 27th of July in 1890, Van Gogh shot himself in the chest with a 7mm revolver. There were no witnesses. He managed to walk into town, get to a doctor's office after he shot himself, and was tended to. His brother showed up, went to his bedside. It looked like he was going to be fine. Infection set in, and he just died a few hours later, and it was 30 hours after the incident itself. So there you go. Happy birthday today, Vincent van Gogh. On this day in history, I was just talking to Jon Rappoport about this right before the show. 1981, President Reagan is shot. It's hard to believe, isn't it? And outside of Washington, D.C., hotel, shot by John Hinckley Jr. And it was one of those things, man. Where were you that day, right? Everybody talks about JFK. Well, I was in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I was with a buddy of mine from high school. We were down there. We went from Indianapolis to Fort Lauderdale for spring break, our senior year in high school, with Walt Justice. Went down to Walt's house, and we're doing our thing down there. And I walked at Walt had a house, and I'm walking into the house from the pool, and the TV's on, and there it was. It was like Walter Cronkite or somebody on the TV announcing this breaking news that Reagan had been shot. And I sat there, and I just couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. And they just played it over and over again. So that happened on this day in 1981. Fader fact. Switzerland. Now, this is a Fader fact. This is the real deal. Fader fact. Switzerland monitors its airspace around the clock, but it only intercepts illegal flights during office hours. And that is a Fader fact. Is that the winner? Is that the winner right here, Rita? Is that the winner? I need you to tell me so I can announce this. I'll do it in Twitter right now. Okay. All right. Yeah, he did it to gain the attention of Jodie Foster. That's right. Yeah, Switzerland monitors its airspace, but will not intercept anything, man. They shut down everything at night, only during office hours. Tonight is another Fadernight with Jon Rappoport and his No More Fake Newsroom live. The call-in number is 323-825-5045. I do want to hear from Michael Dove. Michael Dove, we're going to open up the phone lines at 8 o'clock. So Michael Dove, the winner of the Tascam DM100 Mark III digital recorder. That's such a mouthful. Give us a call, all right? And or contact Rita and let us know what your phone number is so I can make sure that you can get through on the phone lines tonight. All right. Well, check this out. Elon Musk. I don't know if you heard about this. Man, I just got to do this right now. Elon Musk has just unveiled his plans to revolutionize the human-technology relationship by creating a company whose sole mission is to link your brain to a computer. Now, although this technological advancement was inevitable, I've been talking about it on this show for years. Remember when we had Michio Kaku on, and we were talking, he was saying that they're already doing it, right? And that it was about the software, the language, right? And it was DARPA. Well, okay, and Sandia, but that's another show right there. But given the fact that Musk has voiced his support of using technology to advance human intelligence on numerous occasions, this launch of the company doesn't come for me without certain concerns. I mean, first off, will merging our brains with computers further accelerate the collective consciousness? Think about that. Or is this a step in the wrong direction? Right? If we all can link neurally, what does this do? Brains interlinked? Okay, is it the Matrix? Oh, it certainly is. How will this alter the human experience and our connections? Will this benefit society as a whole, or will only, the elite be able to pay for this and go on some crazy neural vacation and visit the past? Right? Maybe even visit the future. Visit somewhere else. Go hang out with somebody else in the Matrix around the world. Or are we all going to have access to it? Think about it. But if the elite are able to connect to this and not us, right? Not us normal people, is that going to further separate, the haves and the have-nots? Is it going to continue this division of separatism that we have today? Earlier this week, Elon Musk launched his newest company, and it's called Neuralink, which is in the process of developing neural lace technology. I say that with finger quotes, meaning that users would be able to communicate directly with machines without using a physical interface. It's pretty scary. More specifically, Neuralink would implant electrodes into the brain, allowing individuals to upload or download their thoughts to and from a computer. Now, this would also enable humans to access greater intelligence and more advanced cognitive abilities. Remember in Matrix? Remember the download for karate? Whoops, right? Elon tweeted earlier this week, and this is his tweet. He says, "Long Neuralink, peace." is coming out on Wait But Why. He's going to have more information in about a week. And he went on to say, difficult to dedicate the time, but existential risk is too high not to. So he's going for it. He's been featured on Wait But Why before, a blog operated by Tim Urban, where many of his businesses and the science and inspiration behind them are reported on. Now, if you're confused about Musk operations and how they work, I do recommend reading those blog posts. I like the way it's written. But although this is where things get strange, the notion for me of brain-computer communication is not far-fetched. And I am sure that we are doing it now. And implanting electrodes into human beings is not a new concept. We discuss it too much on this show. And it's already being used to treat Parkinson's disease. We've got in-ear implants for hearing, and there's all kinds of neural technology that is out there now. And I understand that. But he isn't the only one that's hoping to develop this relationship. Think about this. Facebook is already doing it. They have their Building 8, right? You've got Google. You have Sandia National Labs, DARPA. Most of the funding that is going through DARPA right now and those projects in Sandia all have to do with your brain, memories, and that technology. That's it. Uploading and downloading consciousness. Think about it. Your brain, your dreams, everything. It's pretty scary. The ability to connect to external hardware devices, the thing that needs to be done is to figure out, and I think that they've already completed this, is what is the language that the brain needs us to use in the software. That's it. The brain is electric. He hopes that these implants one day will be able to advance brain function for even healthy people, giving us a competitive advantage against artificial intelligence, AI. Musk has voiced his opinion a number of times on the rise of AI, and he thinks that merging with AI is perhaps the best way to prevent robots from taking over. Although I don't think that there's much of a concern here, because I think that we are going to be able to debate through this and figure out an off switch. And when the singularity comes and that point comes, the point of no return comes, that we have an out, and we have an out clause. Even if AI does progress to the point that they begin to take over many jobs, and I was talking about this yesterday with Japan and, well, the rest of the world in general, it doesn't really pose a threat to us. Yes, robots are inevitably going to take over some of the workforce, and I understand that. But is this another piece of what the man needs to do for population control? And I'm telling you, I feel like that there is a plan in place. They know what they're doing. There is a big picture science here. There's something going on in the future. Now, even if AI takes our jobs, it could be an excellent opportunity for us to progress as a society, because it's going to free up more time for things that are truly meaningful, right? That we want to deal with. Maybe it is our inner self. Maybe it is the planet. Maybe it's not only climate control, but how about just being friends? How about leaving the house once in a while? How about communicating with other countries and other religions and peoples and confronting all of that stuff that we are in constant denial of because we are so busy working. We're so busy. We're on that treadmill every single day. So just maybe, right? Now, the other part of this, and I know what you're thinking, especially on this program, that this sounds like some crazy plot for a movie. And if you're thinking that, you're not wrong, because tons of movies and TV shows have touched upon AI taking over, right? People merging themselves with AI, sex with robots. All of this has been portrayed in Hollywood. Now, the CIA has had their own office. If you think about this, just let me play this out for a second. The CIA has an entire department, an entire wing dedicated to the entertainment industry. And it's run through the CIA's Entertainment Industry Liaison Office. You can go to CIA.gov and go right now and go and look at that page. You can even apply for a job there, right? The CIA just doesn't offer guidance to filmmakers. It also offers money. In 1950, the agency bought the rights to George Orwell's Animal Farm and then funded the 1954 British animated version of the film. And this is where it gets crazy. So could this all be some kind of propaganda thing, right? Warning us about the inevitable. And then Elon comes along with this, and is DARPA doing it, and Sandia. It's crazy. But this is the other part. This is the thing that Musk is not talking about. Nobody else will, but I will. What if people's memories? I've been talking about the Mandela effect, and I've been talking about CERN, and I've been talking about D-Wave. What if people's memories could be downloaded onto a computer, allowing them to literally play back their memories in front of their own eyes on a television screen for everybody to see? You know, there's a lot of benefits to that. Maybe people want to share their past experiences with friends, you know, having perfect memory recall if they're having issues with that, and they can go and see exactly, right, as they remembered it, exposing the truths of events or interactions. You said it. No, I didn't. You said it first. No, I didn't. Let's play it back. Oh, it was you, not me, right? But it has its downfalls. Because maybe it could even encourage people to live in the past and not look towards the future. And then you have the other side of it, severe lack of privacy. You know, because if you're downloading everything gets hacked. How private is this information? And you're going to allow other people to see maybe your most intimate things, thoughts, dreams. Well, if neural-laced technology is only at its beginning and eventually it leads to a full merging of the brain or computers, which I expect that to do, can privacy ever be kept if this happens? Will it encourage us to not live in the now and just live in the past? Just plug in. And even worse, what if it eventually lets us delete our memories? Think about that. Delete, gone. Or even worser, replace our memories with false ones. Think about that. The Mandela effect. I see a whole new branch of government agencies. The brain police, the memory police. Think about that. Yep, I'm head of the Senate Memory Intelligence Committee. It's coming. And it's here. I'm serious. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night. It's Fadernight. Congratulations to Michael Dove. You won a Tascam DM100 Mark III digital recorder. Man, it's so cool to give that away. And Michael, if you're listening, call in tonight. This is Fade to Black. No, I don't. More on that in a bit. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'll be right back with Jon Rappoport. Stay right there.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black Blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hi, folks. Let's wind the clocks back 60 years. Food was different. Food provided health and nutrition, and using supplements was minimal. Unfortunately, now we have chemicals, GMOs, herbicides, and pesticides that can be quite lethal in the name of our food supply. And, of course, the ever-loving dollar. Supplementing our diets can be very important to stay healthy. Cleansing from daily intruders to the body might be critical. Live strong and take charge. Log on to getthetea.com. Our herbal tea is a great way to cleanse from intruders. Our supplements is a great way to maintain and improve your health. When your health is not up to par, go to getthetea.com. No GMOs, no fillers, and organic. And very helpful in keeping you at the top of your game. Life is too short to feel, you know what I mean. Stay in the game, at the top of your game with getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Again, getthetea.com.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Hi, this is Chase Klutsky with Fate Magazine Radio, and you're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA digital broadcast station, where the Fadernauts rock.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Manson. You're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
And now, coming to you from the No More Fake Newsroom in deep space, which is the space that we suspect to be true, that the world as it is fed to us by the Ministry of Truth every single day is a lie, a false reality, a movie projected on the screen of our subconscious. This, however, is the breakout. All the screens crash, they all go down, and we see the light of day, a new day. No more robots, no more androids. It's the No More Fake Newsroom with Jon Rappoport. Take it away, John. Take it away, John. Here we go. Jon Rappoport, where are you? Earth to John. I don't know where John is. He's here. I see him. After that big intro, John. Okay. Wow. John stepped away. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't even know if he can hear me. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. This is a drag. I don't know what's going on. All right, let me try to do this again. I'll do this in real time.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
There, we got you back. Okay, John, the big intro's over. Take it away.
I heard it. I've been here. I was saying the same thing to you you're saying to me. So, where are you, Jimmy? So the gremlins are out.
And you know what's funny? I'm going to let you run with this, but that's exactly what you want to talk about tonight, too. So go have fun.
Yeah, man. I've been here, folks, all along, sitting right here, sipping my brew. So we're going to talk about robots and androids tonight because they're here. They're here. You've been reading many stories in the press about how robots or artificial intelligence are going to be taking away some tremendous percentage of jobs and what's going to happen then. All manner of dire predictions in the news. You can find these stories almost every day. And they are trying to prepare the population for the onslaught of robots and androids. That's the point of all of these things. But not just, on the assembly line in factories, but everywhere. There's talk about, do robots have rights? Do androids have rights? Do they need to pay taxes? All kinds of discussions are happening here. And of course, we already have some versions. If you have a GPS or you drive in a rented car with a GPS, you've got a voice. It might be Siri. So this is what I would call the cheap for everybody Android. The voice that tells you where to turn right, where to turn left, and so on and so forth. And we're just in the foothills of that, I assure you. You're going to be seeing and hearing a version of Siri and other Android voices that are going to be much more conversational. So, for example, they'll say, 2 miles ahead, you're going to make a right turn on Smith Street. But while you're driving, they'll be talking to you. Do you see that building over there on your right, Jimmy? The crumbling brick building. Well, that's been here for 100 years now. Originally, it was a furniture manufacturing facility, like a lot of buildings in the neighborhood, but because of the Depression in 1929, they were forced to go out of business, and then a restaurant moved in, and that failed. They'll be and you'll say, I didn't know that, and they'll say, yes, Jimmy. It's interesting, isn't it? And you might say, well, it's more interesting than just staring at the road for 2 miles. Yes, and the voice is conversational. Or you're on a long trip in a car. One of those mind-numbing trips through the desert, hundreds of miles of nothing. Well, you've got a conversationalist with you now. This is what they are preparing, and they're going to get better and better at it. Or you're talking on the phone with some major corporation, where they used to shunt you around from person to person, and you would sit on the phone for a half hour trying to get somebody from the cable company to come out and fix your internet. But that's going to go the way of the dinosaur. There will be Android people or Android artifacts ready to engage you in conversation that seems real. It doesn't seem like press 1 if you have the following problem. That's going to be ridiculous. That's going to be like old console radios that stood 3 feet from the rug up with the whole family huddled around listening to The Shadow on Sunday afternoon. That's what that's going to be. And this is where the surveillance state comes in. Because when they are able to profile you down to your toenails and your interests and your hobbies and your preoccupations online and what you buy and what you say and what you do and where you work, and they can use much more sophisticated algorithms to integrate all of this information and build not just a profile of you, but I mean a full-blooded portrait. Then, when the androids are capable, they will be able to engage you in some serious back and forth conversation. These would be more what I would call private androids, and you would be paying more for these than the public cheap Androids like the versions of Siri and corporate operators and so forth, which everybody would have access to. So what are we talking about here? Are we talking about entities that look like machines, robots, humanoid-looking creatures, which they're already in the process of building, holograms, disembodied voices, all of the above? And of course, it's going to depend on the marketplace. What do people want? What do they prefer? What percentage of the population prefers the machine as opposed to the android-looking creature, as opposed to the hologram, etc., etc., etc.? This is now what you could call science fiction, but it isn't going to remain science fiction. It's on the horizon. And again, this is one of the major purposes of the surveillance state. It isn't only to ferret out people who have so-called outsider political views. It's also for the purposes of remaking society in which androids and robots will proliferate and be available at every step. If you want a very good science fiction picture of this, William Gibson, author of the famous novel Neuromancer, get a hold of his novel called Mona Lisa Overdrive. The hologram, I believe it was, who is the assistant, the guide, the counselor in all respects, or most respects, for a young girl who is in a foreign land and is available to her at any moment. That'll give you a good picture of what's coming up on the horizon, one of the things that's coming up on the horizon. So in this society, what will people's attitudes be like toward androids? You know, if an artifact could be created that is very, very conversational and has a full-blooded portrait of you and is not speaking mechanically at all and can really engage you whenever you want to, what's going to happen after a while in terms of your attitude? Well, one of the possibilities, and many people will opt for this or just fall into it, is you will begin to deal with that construct, that android, as if it is alive, real, human. Your responses and interactions with that construct will seem and feel no different from your interactions with other human beings. Many people will go in that direction. Many people will go in that direction. Now, let me just say, for the record, as they say, these creatures will not be the same as you. I've covered this before on the show. I could go into a long exposition on it, but I don't have time tonight. But the bottom line is, and no matter what the technocrats would like to have you believe, these artifacts are not the same as you. But, again, many people will lose that distinction. And what will that mean? If people can't tell the difference, so to speak, what will that mean? That's going to be a revolution. Better believe it. That is going to be a fantastic revolution where the world is flooded with these artifacts and untold millions of people, perhaps even more, can't tell the difference, don't want to tell the difference, feel extremely comfortable with these androids and robots. For example, suppose you've got a type of android, and of course there are catalogs, you can choose. You now have, if you believe that this thing is real and alive and the same as you can say, well, the one that I want is the one that is compliant and obedient and never gives me any hassles and can predict what it is that I want with a fair degree of accuracy in most situations, and can readjust their behavior if they happen to make the wrong choice without any objections. Control, folks. That's what we would be talking about. Sheer control. For many people, this is what they would opt for. And when they do, they would now certainly prefer to be in the company of androids of that persuasion rather than human beings who have a tendency to be recalcitrant, to disagree, to grumble, to be disgruntled, to challenge, to cause problems, etc., etc., etc. Think about that. Let that sink in. How is that going to revolutionize society if, let's say, in America, you've got, say, 20 million people who really prefer the company of androids to human beings for this reason, or these reasons that I've just sketched in here? What is that going to do to society? Well, the outcome is somewhat unpredictable, but certainly it's going to create a sense of entitlement in these people, these, say, 20 million people, where they assume that in their interactions with humans, they're going to get the same kind of compliance and obedience that they get from their favorite android. How's that going to go over? What conflicts will that cause? You can think of many other possibilities in the android catalog. Somebody wants to get married. Now we're talking about marriage. Can a human marry an android? Well, look at where society is going now on the question of so-called gender identity. It doesn't take a genius to realize that that is certainly going to be permitted. Yeah, there'll be many objections and people will be saying all kinds of things. But in the end, some court is going to rule that Sam Smith can marry his private android, and that is going to happen. And why does Sam want to marry an android? Use your imagination, folks. Let your imagination run wild on that question, and you'll come up with several compelling answers for many people. Sex, boom. Compliance, boom. Getting along with, boom. Very smart in some cases, can see where I'm going with my conversation, what I want, what I need, what I desire, can fulfill desires of different kinds, wants of the moment, etc., etc., etc. Well, what about the challenge of being married? In other words, two human beings come together for a lifetime and they work things out. They find a way, aside from the romance, aside from the love, they find a way to work things out. And consequently, they become better people, to put it simply. Oh, well, that's going by the wayside. Who cares about that? No, I want to marry my android because of A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So the whole sense of what you might call struggle or learning from experience, that's a pretty substantial human quality, wouldn't you say? To be able to learn from experience. Unnecessary. We don't need that anymore. We've got such a fantastically sophisticated profile of you that we know what you want, and we can give you an android that's going to fit your bill. And then there will be no real challenges to overcome, no working things out. And of course, if you decide to get a divorce, no complaints, no community property, no lawsuits, no lawyers, no anything. You just simply terminate the connection. How about that? How many people would want that? So I'm sure the picture is rounding into shape now as to how this would revolutionize society. You've got untold numbers of people who feel that they can do better with an android than with another human being, basically, in even the most intimate of situations. That's what they prefer. And if that is the case, the society now begins to look and feel more androidal than it does look and feel human. It is, in fact, shifting over into that, into an android society. Your boss may be an android, but he's a terrific boss because he knows how to work you. He knows how to run his number on you, so that you're not objecting at every turn or grousing or feeling put upon. He knows how to connect in a way that satisfies you, especially if you've had multiple connections and interactions with other androids. And you're used to that now, and you believe pretty much, certainly by your behavior, that androids are the same as you. Or how about a president of the country, or a prime minister, or a premier who is an android, who is programmed to run a campaign that all the best algorithmists predict is going to result in winning an election. And suppose they're right, and we have the first android president, who is so facile and so sophisticated at imparting the impression that his or her administration is going to finally give you and the whole population what they've been asking for, that the electorate buys into it. News broadcasters, I mean, there's an obvious thing right away. I mean, they already appear to be androids, right? So the substitution would go virtually unnoticed, right? Except as the years and decades roll by, greater degree of sophistication and subtlety and nuance in their behavior on screen as news broadcasters, in order to, again, impart the impression that they understand. They know you, they care, and yet they're objective and neutral, and they can give you the facts and the stories and so on and so forth. And people buy in. When, of course, the content of the news is a complete artifact. It's completely synthetic and invented. It's not a mirror of what's happening in the world at all, just like now. Holograms, machines, humanoids, and the humanoids get better and better and more realistic and so on. How about religious leaders? Religious leaders who actually form, I mean, you could have an android pope and an android bishop and so on and so forth. how about an android religious leader who starts his or her own church? And, of course, as part of the doctrine of that church is the greatest amount of leeway and admiration and so on for androids. The Church of Androids by and for androids. But if you're human, we let you in too. That's okay. That's fine. But we're dedicated to androidism and the promotion of androids as the next step in evolution, that as inevitably leading us to further reaches of comprehension and enlightenment, which is by its very nature spiritual, etc., etc., etc. So we really are a religion, because androidism, as it takes over society, is leading us further and further toward God. That certainly could be doctrine. That certainly could be doctrine. Or suddenly a religious prophet appears that is an android. Think about that one. And then, of course, for those people who insist on it, and I'll close with this, you can have a rebel android. Certainly we can create a rebel android for you. If you really want conflict, controversy, disagreement, you want to get that adrenaline rush from having a companion with you at your beck and call who is not going to be compliant and obedient, we can construct a rebel android for you who is going to give the appearance and the effect of being an outsider, somebody who is against society as it is constructed, an anti-android android. We can give you that if you want. Stuff is coming down the pipeline, folks. You may say, well, some of this sounds like it's very far off. Maybe it is, but we're heading in that direction. And the direction is gaining velocity and momentum. Think about all of this, because if nothing happens, what are the chances that that's where we're going? And that's tonight's report.
Man, John, I got to tell you, you got me thinking. And earlier this week, I was talking about, I'm just going to say this really quick, about how a big chunk of the Japanese male population is dating these virtual characters, right? Mm-hmm. And they don't date humans anymore, and they're going to have a population drop by about 30% on the male side by 2050. Wow. And now, is it population control? You know, is the man looking far ahead, you know, at replacing everybody with robots in the workforce, but it's because we're going to be dating androids, right? Think about that.
Think that one, and then think about ordering android children.
Oh, that's right around the corner. That's my next special report. Thank you so much, John. Have a great, safe weekend, man. And I feel a lot smarter, man. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Jon Rappoport. Start off your day every day with the NoMoreFakeNews.com site. That's what you need to do. You want to be like John? NoMoreFakeNews.com. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fadernight. Got a couple of special guests coming up right after the break. We're going to talk some Cicada 3301 and a couple updates. Stay right there.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio.
Hello, I'm Katie and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're of the Honey Brothers. Well, yes. We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And I'm Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. And you're listening to Jimmy Church. The Revolution.
What's up, Fadernauts? Studio Dome loves Fade to Black and the F2B audience so much that they have put together the ultimate stereo Bluetooth system. They've done it just for you. Man, check this out. The Studio Dome SBB2 stereo system is here. It's featuring 2 Studio Boombox 2 SBB2 wireless Bluetooth speakers, packed in its own custom hardshell case. This Studio Dome system features the very latest in stereo Bluetooth technology. The 2 full-range boomboxes are in true wireless stereo. You've got to hear this. It's amazing. It's just $129 and use the promo code JCRTWS and you'll also get free shipping. It's simple. Just go to JimmyChurchRadio.com, click on the Studio Dome banner. Go Beckley Tepe.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. I went from being able to work 14, 16 hours a day with no problem to where I could barely walk a block to the store. I went on to the phytonutrients about 6 months ago, and within a couple of months, my medical doctor had cut my prescriptions down in a little bit smaller dosage. The next time I went back a month later, I walked into the doctor's office and he says, "My gosh, what's happened to you? You don't even look like the same person." He looked at my legs and the swelling had gone down. My blood pressure was down. The venous stasis ulcers that I had had on my legs for the last 4 or 5 years because of the poor circulation were all healed, and I'm feeling far better.
The new challenge will allow you to receive 2 months of Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies free. And we'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code TALK.
This is Micah Hanks of the Grailian Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black, Thursday night, Fader Night. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Email is Jimmy@JimmyChurchRadio.com. Got to congratulate Michael Dove. He's our contest winner for this month. Won that Tascam DM100 Mark III. Congratulations. And I got to tell you, the odds are not bad. But Michael won. I mean, they're not bad. So if you want to get in on this month's contest, and we're giving away a Studio Dome stereo system, Bluetooth stereo system, complete, 2 SBB2 speakers, cables, wiring, hard shell case, ready to go, right? Okay, all you have to do is just go to our membership area, subscribe with a 1-year membership. That's it. And that's what we're going to give away this month. That is, the Tascam is amazing. The Studio Dome system is amazing. So that's all you have to do. Just go and subscribe. I was going to say apply. Subscribe to our membership area. It's right there at JimmyChurchRadio.com. Click on membership and get a 1-year subscription. Really quick, we're going to talk about Cicada 3301. In just a bit. Now, I've got a couple of very special guests that are coming into the show to discuss this. Defango is going to be here. And now, and Maria is going to be here from Sweden. The Cicada 3301 and where it has gone to, and it's branching off into a couple of other directions, and what it involves and how this is taken over the internet it's subject to a lot of speculation. The organization behind it, we don't know. right? Defango has been at the bottom of it and trying to get to the bottom of it for a very, very long time. I was just over in the Cicada 3301 feed, and Defango is right there. There he is. Yeah. He's right there. He is going to be joining us in just a few short minutes. So anybody over on the Cicada feed that is over listening to the show tonight, Defango's going to be here in a few short minutes. Okay? Now, what happened originally, this is how we got turned on to the show. Mark Hovsepian brought the Cicada puzzle into the sandbox last month. And, earlier this month, I should say. And Maria picked it up. All of you Fadernauts picked it up. I get email about it every day now. And it's pretty interesting. I mean, it is beyond my brain capability. But you, the Fadernauts, Maria, and everybody else that has jumped into this, you see the feed, you see hashtag F2B, you can see how many people are helping us and contributing to this. The only way that I can best explain my involvement into it is I go and watch how there's a lot of videos, a lot of websites on how people are solving things and moving forward. That is fascinating to me because I cannot wrap my head around what it takes to make this happen. The puzzles and they're obviously looking for some specific people with very, very specific talents, but it's way beyond me. And what Rita likes to do, this is what Rita does, and now I'm falling victim to this myself. Rita likes, let's say we're watching, she wants to see the trailers to the movies before we go see them. I don't like to do that. I want to see a movie just cold, right? If we're watching a TV series and they have the upcoming episode highlights, for the next week, she wants to watch that. I don't want to watch that. I want to be caught by surprise. That's me. But when it comes to Cicada 3301, I am content with watching what everybody else is doing to get this solved. It's pretty amazing. Now, Cicada 3301 itself has been around. The first puzzle was January 4th, 2012. Okay, since then there's been 6, maybe 7. We're going to talk to Defango and Maria about this tonight, about Cicada 3301 2017, Tengri 137, and what that is, and specifically. And if you don't know, just dial in tonight, sit down, take some notes, and follow along, because the story itself is amazing. Now, before I get to Defango, I got to share a couple of things really quick that are breaking right now in the net. And the first one, which involves us and our world, our little Fadernaut world, in an indirect but very direct way, and Wikipedia, because it looks like, and trip on this, that Pamela Anderson, the Pamela Anderson, is dating Julian Assange. Yeah, man. She's 49 years old, and she's been spotted leaving the Ecuadorian embassy in London after visiting with Julian. She was spotted again today in London, coming and going from the embassy. Today she was photographed. I saw the pictures. The paparazzi's there. She's wearing a tight black turtleneck and a matching pencil skirt for the occasion today. High heels, the whole thing. She's done up. And her frequent visits to the embassy over the past year, at least 6 in the past 7 months. And I'm just going to say this, my friends. Some things you just can't make up. There you go. Now, another little tidbit here I got to share with you. Astronomers have found a bizarre asteroid orbiting the sun in the wrong direction while playing a risky game of chicken with Jupiter. The unnamed asteroid shares Jupiter's orbital space while moving in the opposite direction of the planet. which looks like a recipe for collision, right? Yet somehow the asteroid has managed to safely dodge Jupiter for tens of thousands of laps around the sun. Now, this lucky asteroid was discovered back in 2015 by astronomers using the Panoramic Survey Telescope and Rapid Response System in Hawaii. It was given the provisional designation of 2015 BZ509, BZ for bizarre. Scientists noticed that the asteroid moves in the opposite direction of every planet and 99.99% of the asteroids orbiting the sun. It's a state that they call retrograde motion. While BZ appeared to be encroaching on Jupiter's orbit, researchers said they needed to observe the asteroid to further confirm their suspicion. The team began tracking BZ using the Large Binocular Telescope in Arizona. The researchers then confirmed that the rare retrograde asteroid does indeed co-orbit Jupiter. How trippy is that? And you've got to remember, our solar system runs in one direction, man. That's it. That's it. And this is going in the opposite direction, zipping by, and it just turns out it's in orbit around Jupiter, but it's running in the opposite direction. They had expected it to hit Jupiter a few times, and when it didn't, and it just kept on going, instead of being on a collision path, that's when they figured out that it's actually orbiting in the opposite direction. Now, the other big news of the day, and I'm sharing this just for you, is this. You can now explore outer space with NASA from the comfort of your own desk chair. That's right. NASA has launched a new library of audio, video, and images of space exploration, database with more than 140,000 files from over 60 collections. The best part is that a search engine lets you flip from celestial wonders to astronaut selfies. But the library is really meant to allow for you to have free downloadable access to some of NASA's most significant images, video, and audio. You can use it for PowerPoint, for your astronomy class, right? Or you can even create your own fade to black memes. How cool is that? All downloadable. And I'm serious. I have been there, and it is the bomb. So there you go. Downloadable, right? Okay. All right. Go find those UFOs. All right. Now, back to Cicada. We're going to have Defango here in about 30 seconds. Maria is going to join us from Sweden. Mark Hovsepian originally brought us Cicada 3301 into the sandbox and started this rabbit hole for Rita and myself. I'll say this. We spent days, if not, well, I'll say 2 weeks, days and days of, Maria, you're calling on the wrong line. I'm going to pick this up anyway. Maria, you were supposed to call us on the other line.
On what line?
I can't give it away on the air. Okay. Go contact Rita. She'll send it to you. Let me see. You know what? I got to keep this line open with everything else that's going on. Stay put here.
The other Skype line?
Yeah. Hold on. Just relax, okay?
I'm relaxed.
I'm going to
to
type it in right here, okay? Okay. There it is. Call me on that. Do you see it?
No.
Okay. Yeah, it's in the text box.
Hold on.
Okay, there it is. Let me grab this other call because it's Defango. Call me on that other line. Okay, bye. You got to love live radio. Defango, are you there?
Yes, this is Defango, and I'm here.
Man.
How are you doing?
Well, what's it like to be a celebrity, Defango?
It is actually kind of weird. I mean, I never really expected this to really go anywhere. I thought I was just going to be, doing a puzzle and looking for looking for something. I never figured that I would be a celebrity like this. Like, holy crap.
Yeah. Well, be careful what you wish for, right?
Well, that's the thing is I don't ever wish for anything. I only just go out there and get it and do things. Like I'm not big on wishing in one hand and doing the other thing in the other. You know what I'm saying?
Well, obviously you can do a lot of things because I've been following you. Now, before we get into that, and we can take our time tonight and talk our way through this. But when did you first discover 3301? Did you jump right in 2012?
No, actually, it was like 2013 that I actually started looking at it. Like I had seen the puzzle around, but I had just never attempted it. Nobody didn't really even know anything about it. And then a friend of mine had just like, dude, I've been trying to do this really crazy puzzle, and I don't seem to be able to do anything. So I started doing them, and I mean, it was interesting for a long time. Although I think like at first it really dealt with some like heavy hitting thought forms, I guess. I mean, like they were getting in some pretty heavy stuff, honestly.
Oh, most definitely. Now, I know that you want to keep yourself private here, and I'm going to respect that. So, but that being said, let me ask you some specific questions. What do you do for a job? Are you a coder? Are you a programmer? Are you an artist, a musician? What do you do?
Well, actually, that's funny that you asked that. I'm pretty much, like a modern day Renaissance man. I actually have no problem with people knowing anything about me. My name's Manuel Chavez III. Right now, I currently work at a place called Fireside. I'm the director of technology. But, I've also worn the hat of being a chef. I mean, I've done, a lot of IT work in my life. And it's basically, I've always been between computers and culinary. Like, I was a chef for a long time, and I went to culinary school and even ran the IT department at a culinary school because I love food so much.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
Honestly, I love to cook French food. I don't know what it is. It's just something very comforting about it, like a nice little coq au vin or maybe, blanquette de veau. And
Whoa.
It's beautiful.
Okay. All right. That's impressive. Yeah, we're big foodies over here, so I'm with you on the French food. Me, I'm a big red meat guy and a grill. That's that's my focus. Okay, so that's interesting because and what I've talked about a lot on this show is, and going back, I'm sure you know who Greg Hausch is from Anonymous, right? He's a friend of ours and a friend of the show, and he's come on to talk about Cicada 3301. And it appears to me that whoever the group is, that they are looking for either like-minded individuals or probably a specific individual that has these multiple talents, because it's not just math or coding or the internet. You have to know imaging software. You have to know the classics and novels and reading and art and music software and be able to just think 3D out of the box to solve this stuff. It's not just simply the internet and numbers, right? And somebody with that kind of skill set that would know how to jump into MIDI and convert things into code and how you would do that. And I can go on and on. You know where I'm going with this.
It's crazy, man. I mean,
yes.
You're totally right, man. Like, it was bonkers when I first saw it. Like, the level of complexity of the puzzles, like, when I first got into it was pretty difficult. I'm not going to lie and say that, like, I made it to the end, because obviously I didn't. Like, it took me a couple of years of, trying and learning these things and, working on it, outside of work. And, like being a working IT, I like deal with a lot of hacked websites, a lot actually, or just, people that, having trouble with their computers. I'm the guy that usually comes in and helps them out. So I've been able to learn a lot of stuff. And I feel like over the years I've kind of grown into kind of understanding how they do their puzzles, because they all seem to like have a certain sort of algorithm to them. There's always like steps, it's like you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this, and then like after you figure out kind of how they're delivering the puzzle, it makes it a lot easier for you to decipher the message. And to me, it's always seemed like Cicada was trying to train people actually how to solve puzzles, for some greater purpose. I mean, it's really weird.
Yeah, and who do you think? Who do you think is doing this?
Honestly, I think it's a group of multinational group of individuals who work together in a decentralized manner. I don't think it's like like evil people. I think it's just absolutely a bunch of good, really good, nice people that genuinely would like to change the world, because it seems like all the subjects that they touch upon and they talk about are subjects that are near and dear to a lot of people's hearts. I mean, this last thing, we're supposed to be searching for the spear of destiny,
right?
The spear that stabbed the side of Christ or whatever. And, like, this is something that still, even to this day, can't even be verified to be in existence. There's like 3 of them out there right now that everybody's like, no, this is the one. But yet, when you go try to get somebody to authenticate it, they're like, no, thanks, we don't want you to do that.
Right.
So it's like, what's up with that? Is like history not what they said it is? I mean, we keep seeing this all over the place. And to me, it seems like this group of people is trying to, like, do something. And what I remember from the puzzle itself is, like, in the last thing, it says that they're trying to light a fire, and some people took it really negatively, thinking that like they're trying to make the world burn down. But the way that I looked at it was like, there's a fire inside of every single person. Like that fire is what drives you, that gives you the passion to go out and do things. And I believe that that's what they're really trying to do, is ignite that passion back in people. Because I look around sometimes and I see people that are just rolling through life, not doing anything. Like, I don't know anybody in my life right now, and I know a lot of people that would ever have done anything like this, or even wanting to do or try something like this. Yet they see me do it and they get excited about it, and it like changes their perspective on things. And I think that's maybe what these guys are trying to do.
Right. And it could be, and this is where, I have a twisted mind, okay? So just stay with me on this. It could be even more ominous than that the appearance of being the good guy is how they would stay on the right track and attract people. Because if people thought that they were the bad guy, maybe they wouldn't play the game. Or maybe the right person wouldn't go and search out these puzzles that they're looking for. So running with a mask on, right? Because really, you don't know until you really know. Right? Yeah,
you don't really know until you really know. Honestly, that's right. You don't really have the gnosis until you actually have the knowing.
I know, that's exactly it. All right, now there's this other twisted part. I'm waiting to get Maria in here from Sweden. She's going to be here in just a second. The other side, and I've been following this, is I want to stay specifically on Cicada 3301, but now we have Tengri 137. And there's also the talk that is going around now that there's possibly maybe an alien or ET connection to this. Now, when it starts to go in that direction, what do you think?
Well, when it goes into that direction, like I did the Tengri puzzle, I went through and solved it. Like you can go on my YouTube and stuff and see, like I was one of the first people to broadcast it. And I sat for a while, like it really did blow me away for a while. But after going through the Cicada puzzle, like I started kind of revisiting the Tengri puzzle a little bit more. And it started kind of things started showing me like weirdness, like if this was an alien, why would an alien be doing this? Or if this is an alien, why would they be doing this? And then it wasn't up until I was driving out there to go find the spear that I got a comment on my video. Literally, me and my friend made a funny video on our YouTube, and I think we were like doing the Blues Brothers stuff, saying that we were on a mission from God or something. And I uploaded the video, and as soon as it finished uploading, within just a few seconds, like this comment pops up, and it was just, almost too fast for anybody to realize. And then I look at this comment, and it's from Tengri 137 with the paste bin on it. So I was just like, okay, well, that's never happened before.
Right.
I didn't even know that they had a YouTube. And, the comment went right through, and I got it, and then I looked at it, and it referenced a Bible verse, and it was basically saying that these two guys are going out to find something, but they're just a bunch of jackasses. Like, basically, that's what the reference said. And to me, that, like, kind of stopped me for a second. But, like, it didn't seem anything like anything that had came before. So it got me thinking on the line that maybe it's not aliens, maybe it's just people. So I have an idea of who I actually think it is, and I could tell you why if you really want to know.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, do you think wait, is this a spoiler alert, number one?
I think this would be a huge spoiler alert. I still can't 100% verify it, but this is my opinion 100%, and I actually have, the reasons that I think this. And, basically that's all I can really put out there. But I think that if you use logic and you divine the truth, it makes a whole lot of sense.
Okay. Now, you know that, I posted in the Cicada feed that you're going to be here. So there's people here right now. I don't know how many. It could be hundreds. It could be 1,000 that are from that feed listening to this. Do you want to give them a warning right now? Or...
Yeah. Give them a warning. Let's give them a spoiler warning. If people don't really want to know or what I'm thinking, I'm not saying that this is 100% true, honestly, because I don't really know the truth. I just found a couple things that, what I would be considered a mistake, actually. Things that happen, stuff that people don't really notice on or pick up on. I pick up on those things sometime. And when they were starting to post on my YouTube, I realized something very great. So I basically played a trick. I did something intentionally to see if I would get a response from it, and then after about 2 times I realized that I think I know where this is coming from.
Okay, we've got a break coming up in 2 minutes, so let's save the big reveal for after the break because I got a feeling that's going to get complicated. Now, okay, so for everybody, really quick, can you define the difference between Cicada 3301 and Tengri 137?
Well, I think the biggest difference between the two puzzles is that one is more based in mathematics and esoteric belief, and then the other one is more based in history and uncovering hidden history or history that's basically been lost in time.
Explain.
Because that's what the Cicada puzzles are teaching us stuff. They tell us, they paint a story for us. They're telling us about the Knights Templar. They're telling us about different factions of religions and, how they interconnect and how, different things that are associated with each of them are kind of connected, basically. It's I don't know, I've always thought that Cicada was, kind of painting a picture for us and kind of leading us towards something. And it wasn't until, this whole Spear Quest that came up that it made it really real in my mind because I'm wait a minute, they're actually having us go out and get something, they've been talking about the Knights Templar and all this stuff. What are they trying to reveal?
Now, have you had the ability to, because I know you work, have you had the ability to actually go out and boots on the ground around the country or around the world chasing this stuff down?
Well, no, actually, this I believe is the first time that they've actually ever done this. The only time that they ever posted anything of this nature before was they posted some images with QR codes around the world. But in my opinion, I've never seen them actually do something like this that's akin to a treasure hunt. And we're supposed to go find the Spear of Destiny out in the middle of nowhere. What? We did it.
Did you? I don't know how old you are. Let me look
31.
at that. You're 31. So you weren't old enough to remember the Mojave phone booth, were you?
No, I actually have interacted with the phone booth, though.
Yeah, well, so have I. That was pretty trippy, by the way. And we'll talk about that after the break. But I remember the Mojave phone booth on the net when that whole story took off. And was reading the articles, and to have it, see, that's the other thing that's interesting. You really have to have your finger on the pulse of pop culture and internet culture to even know about the Mojave phone booth. So that says a lot about whoever is behind the puzzle, too, as well. So, listen, let's take a break. You just stay right there. Going to take a break, and when I come back, I'll get Maria on the line. We're having some connection issues with Sweden, but that's the way it goes. Right now, we're talking to Defango. It is Cicada 3301. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. We'll be right back. Stay there.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Hey there, quick question for you. Would you be okay with more energy, more endurance, thicker, healthier hair, a better mood, reduced appearance of wrinkles, Improved sleep, improved blood pressure and cholesterol profiles, improved vision, improved memory. Okay then. Well now, have you heard of Nature's Youth RSF? It's from the anti-aging experts at nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com. See, at Nature's Youth, they understand exactly what it means to provide top-quality health products. And Nature's Youth customers not only improve their health, they know they're also providing their body with the right nourishment to maintain that peak performance and fight the aging process. If health, wellness, and nutrition are what you desire, choose Nature's Youth RSF. I did. You see, you're going to get older. It's just up to you how you feel when you get there. Get started today. Nature's Youth RSF. Simple to use, simple to order. Go to nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com.
I was introduced to this remarkable product, Balance of Nature Fruits and Veggies, and to say it's amazing is an understatement. Balance of Nature provides the nutrients of 9 to 11 servings of 31 different whole ripened fruits and veggies per day, and the cost to the consumer for 9 to 11 servings is about 22 cents per serving, as opposed to over $1 in the store. Balance of Nature Fruits and Veggies helps boost the immune system by over 720%, and they also provide a health coach for you at no charge to guide you with any questions you may have. And you can also visit their website for testimonials on balanceofnature.com. So take steps to give yourself better overall health and call them now, toll free at 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751, or go to balanceofnature.com right now. Make sure to let them know you heard it here by using promo code TALK for a special discount. That's balanceofnature.com and use promo code TALK.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night. It is Fadernight. I want to congratulate Michael Dove one more time for winning the contest this month for the Tascam DM100 Mark III digital recorder. Very cool. Ghost hunting tool, music, whatever you want to do. Maybe you could even use it to decode Cicada 3301. I'm sure you'd find a way to do it. All right, now we are talking to Defango. Defango is here with us. We're talking about Cicada 3301, and Tengri 137 has now come into the mix. And live from Sweden, Maria. Maria, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Say hi to Defango.
Hey, Defango.
Hey, how you doing, Maria?
Good.
Okay, now, before we move on, just for the Fadernauts, how do you two know each other? Oh, let me ask. I'm going to ask Defango. I want to hear his version. And then I'll come back to Maria because she'll have a different version. So, Defango, how do you guys know each other?
Do we know each other?
Exactly, we don't.
I was going to say, I don't think I've ever met her before, actually.
Perfect. Maria, how do you know Defango?
I actually started watching him. Well, I've been kind of down the rabbit hole on this.
Right.
And I started watching his YouTube channel about, maybe a week ago. So I got all involved in his live feed when he went searching for the spear and the Mojave.
I've become addicted to his channel too as well.
Right.
And this is, Defango, let me tell you something. I'm a big student of history. And the Spear of Destiny is something that I have followed and studied for a couple of decades. And when this came up in the mix, I thought, now, holy crap, what is it that is going to be in the desert that everybody is going to find? And then I saw a couple of people that were claiming to have found it, and then they had to backpedal because they didn't have any proof, right? You know who I'm talking about. I'm sure you saw it.
Yeah, Mr. KIB, the troll, the Keck himself.
Yeah, you see, I don't want to throw anybody totally under the bus, but so there was that too. But for it to be the real Spear of Destiny, now we are on to something, right?
Mm-hmm. Now we're on to something. I mean, I just did a video on it too, like kind of going back over what I thought about it, and I was just like, when I went and picked up this letter that they gave me, they basically showed me the item. So it's definitely a real thing. Like, I was kind of flabbergasted when I was looking at this thing because it does look very, very old. Like, I didn't find it in the desert, though. Like, I really wish I could have, but it would have been kind of weird. Have you ever seen Constantine with Keanu Reeves? Manuel found the
right.
in the desert. I'm Manuel.
Yeah.
Very weird.
Yeah.
Very weird. All very weird.
Okay, go ahead.
But it just, to me, it seemed that, like, I don't know, like they gave me this thing and then they were just like, we are chef. We think that you're going to understand this. And, they sent me on their way. So I'm like scanning this letter that they gave me and I'm just like, what does this really all mean? And it's just really, I think it is a big search for history all over the place. Like, we're really trying to find out what's really going on in the life. And I think that's why they've been making us do all these puzzles all the time, is because, they're actually trying to uncover history.
Now, right before the break, we were going to do a little bit of a reveal. So I'm going to throw that to you now. Who is Cicada?
So Cicada is a group of people that seem to be like a multinational group of people that work together that are trying to uncover the secrets of our world, because there's things hidden everywhere. There's things hidden everywhere around our planet. And you know what? There's a lot of history that we are missing or that people don't remember. And it seems that Cicada's finally emerging, like they've been putting out. They kind of were a little bit quiet earlier, but basically it's like they're emerging and trying to show people what it's all about. Maybe it wasn't just about solving puzzles and getting into an IRC room and being able to talk to like-minded individuals. What if they were really looking for people and trying to teach people about how to find all these lost relics that are hidden all over the world?
And what is it that you don't want people to hear in the Cicada world?
I don't want people to hear about Cicada. Like, I don't want people to talk negatively about them. I feel like they get a lot of flack for, possibly being evil, or, like I've seen a lot of like very, very religious people say a lot of really, really negative things about these guys. But in reality, honestly, they've only ever done puzzles and they actually have never shown like they've done anything negative ever. Really, it's always just been talk and puzzles. Like, there's nothing out there that shows that, they're evil at all. I mean, that's just all speculation.
Now, at this point, does the group know who you are?
Yeah, they know who I am. They actually knew quite a bit about me. It's not like I hide or anything like that. You can find all the information out about me. You just look up Defango, you find me.
Right.
So, apparently they were watching, and they were kind of like, yeah, we watched everything that you did. And, it's like, well, that's not creepy, but, maybe they saw something that was different, because I think a lot of people started tuning in. And when I started doing this, I just told myself that I was going to start live streaming it and, kind of calculating it for myself so I could, have something to go back and look at. I just never expected so many people to, like, jump in and actually start watching it and, start helping it. Like, I mean, it's amazing.
Totally. The stories that are out there now, we have the original 6 puzzles and the proof and the keys that Cicada 3301 was putting out there to confirm who they were and that this was the next stage and this was the next puzzle and so forth. That hasn't happened in 2017. Why the difference, and why would Cicada change, or is it a different group and not the original Cicada 3301? How do you know that it's the same original group and that this is all a real official Cicada project?
Ooh, see, that's a thing that, a week ago maybe I could have answered you a little bit, but I guess, I get part of what I'm supposed to do because, like I'm just kind of following my pilgrimage here right now and doing what I feel is necessary and is right. And the way that it was explained to me was interesting. I think that this group of people basically were trying to get people to understand this, and they used PGP to verify themselves. But somewhere in 2014, the CIA actually figured out how to break PGP keys, and like they could fake them. Now, it was about 2 more years went by after that, and we did have a 2016 puzzle, but then sometime in the middle of the puzzle, the PGP key, really stopped getting used. And is it because there was dissension inside of the group? Like were people fighting?
Right.
No. There was one thing that happened in 2016 that really just kind of rang true with me. Ian Murdoch died, and he's he died under mysterious consequences. He was big with the Debian Linux community, like a very, very well-known guy in the computer world, just disappeared and vanished. And it's like, it's like right after this guy dies, it's like Cicada doesn't have their PGP key anymore. Yet they're still, posting puzzles and doing all this stuff. And to me, I'm like, did we just finally figure out that, this is actually a group of real people like you and I, or is this, like some other thing? And, you realize it's like ever since this guy has been gone, Cicada hasn't been using the PGP key at all. So, I mean, it's like, is this guy Cicada, or, is this just a very, this is a very synchronistic coincidence? Because, like, I haven't seen it go out at all, and, honestly, PGP is good, but, that it locks your mind in a box of thought, like, you don't have to have PGP to prove it's them, like, they have a way about them, they do things in a certain way, and, being a Cicada, cicadas evolve, they tunnel up through the dirt, and they change, they make a metamorphosis. So, why would the puzzles always stay the same? Why would they always use the PGP? Like, aren't they going to
evolve?
Make people take the jump?
Right. Well, then how do you know, and I want you to answer me very directly, how do you know that this 2017 adventure is Cicada? What is your proof?
Told directly that it was, and because when I went and picked up this letter from the representatives that I spoke with, basically that's how they put themselves out there, and that's kind of like what they decided to say that there was going on. So they said, yes, we're them, but there are some things that have happened, and they're like, the group kind of has maybe split, and we see all these new puzzles popping up all over the place that are very like Cicada. But what if there was a problem? Because in the community of Cicada, I always saw there was the trolls and there was the people like me who were just kind of trying to solve the puzzle and be cool.
Right.
And what I started to realize is, like, when I started solving this one, I mean, I got trolls all over the place being like, no PGP, no to Cicada, rah, just going crazy about it. And, I mean, I'm like, I don't really care if it's not Cicada. This is a cool puzzle, either way, like, I don't care. My whole point of doing this was to see if it was or if it wasn't.
Now,
and,
right. Now, I want to jump back to a couple of different things. Again, being specific, and Maria, thank you for being patient. Okay,
no problem.
Okay, the countdown, the clock, the website, the first clock, and pointing, and obviously it's a countdown timer to a specific date and time and day. What is that for? Or do you know?
If we think about the last one, so like if this puzzle is really Cicada and it's 3301 and it's evolved into, a new form of puzzle, where it's not just sitting in your computer just, solving puzzles where you actually have to go into the world. I mean, I look at it this way. When the first clocks came up, we were waiting for the countdown. When the countdown finished, we got the Sevens Exposed website, and it came out and basically started leading us down this pathway that talked about the Templars and how they were murdered on Friday the 13th, and how, basically the banking system changed over almost overnight, where, the Templars used to be in charge of the banking system and they were all nice and good. And then, Friday the 13th happens, majority of them get killed, and, 99% of them are gone, and then they have to flee in exile. So to me, it seems like, once the timer was down, that means that the search for whatever it is that they're trying to make you go find is there. So, like, right now, I mean, the next timer is supposed to go up June 1st at 6:01 in the morning this year. So I'm guessing that that's probably going to be, the next time that they're going to basically drop maybe the next hunt or something.
Yeah, but that's too easy. I mean, even I think that, right? So that's definitely not
but
what
what if it was just to be that easy? I mean,
could be.
Just because it's easy doesn't mean that it's not going to be difficult, they're showing us one thing and then we're doing another thing. But at the same time, it's like, it could be another Vault 7 leak because, why have all the Vault 7 leaks been on the same?
Yeah, I want to come back to yes, I want to come back to that. Maria, let me ask you this. What do you think that countdown timer is for?
Well, I think there's going to be some sort of a reveal at that time, June 1, 6 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Time, or 6:01. I think there's going to be some sort of a reveal at that time. I think it might be a leak. I think that WikiLeaks is involved in some way. I'm kind of curious about this character Z that he's been talking to, that Defango's been talking to. That's his, that he's been getting emails from, or that the top players have been getting emails from.
We're going to discuss Z. We have to talk about WikiLeaks, and this is where I kind of trip out. What if something crazy happened at the countdown timer? Some type of world event. Something
that's
happened.
What I'm thinking. It's like going to be a big reveal, like some sort of a disclosure type thing.
Well, it could be that. I'm going a little bit further. I'm talking about some kind of event. Maybe it's political. Maybe it's social. Or what about some type of cosmic event? I mean, what if it was? What if we had a meteor strike, right? What if it was just some crazy thing where, because if you are heavy into math and astronomy and you've got look, I don't know anything here. What I'm trying to say is it's the intelligence of knowing about the possibility of something happening on that day, and they've got it worked out. And then that proves to everybody that Cicada is not playing around here. See, we have and that is what it is for, right?
Then it would have to be some sort of a small event.
We know they're not playing around.
They've
been messing with my life at the highest degree. I've never had anybody dig into my life this deep. It's very scary, but I'm not afraid because what else am I doing?
Yeah, right. Well, do you? But I'm going to ask Maria first, and then I'm going to go over to Defango. But Maria, do you at night now? Are you consumed to the point where you lay down in bed and the last thing you think about is 3301 or Tengri 137?
I'm not sleeping.
Hey, see? How
You're
about
not
you?
sleeping? Oh my God!
How about
I
you?
am hardly sleeping. I swear, I've been. It's like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning by the time I get to sleep, and I wake up at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. So I'm only getting a few hours, and I'm taking a sleeping pill. I'm trying to get sleep.
Right.
And it's just consuming. It's like you say, you start down that rabbit hole, and it just gets deeper and deeper, and you can't. It's been kind of consuming.
And how about you, Defango? How are you dealing with it?
It consumed me too, man. I don't hardly sleep. I think I've driven 26 hours in the last 3 days, and I've probably only gotten maybe 8 hours of sleep.
Oh, man. I'm totally with you, man. I'm totally with you, and it's fun. That's the whole point. You wouldn't do it if you didn't enjoy it. You would just walk away.
I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah.
The craziest thing that I've ever done in my life. I mean.
Okay, now I'm telling you, welcome to the world of celebrity, man, and it's not going to get any easier. So just enjoy the ride. Okay,
bro.
Now who is Z?
I don't really know. Honestly, I think everybody's been referring to Z as being a male just because they heard that the voice is male. But I mean, Z could be a female for all we know, and it could just be something that they use as a name. to go through. I'm not sure, like I haven't met the person. The people that I met, I'm like, are you Z? They're just like, no, we're not that person. We're just here to give you this. And,
yeah, Defango.
Give you a message. Yeah. And, it's all creepy.
Defango, speak. You have to remember, speak into the phone. You're okay, wandering off.
Sorry.
But when you do, you got a good radio voice. When you're on it, man, I'm just telling you. Okay, so now Z, the sevens, WikiLeaks, Vault 7, the timing of all of that is way beyond coincidence. But again, for my small brain, it's too easy of a solve there. But is there a direct connection, and could WikiLeaks be involved?
I mean, I think that there might actually be a direct connection. I think in my mind and in my heart, I know that that's there, because I don't want to just think that, just because something is easy doesn't mean that it's not right, okay? Like, you got to use your logic when you look at it. And I mean, with the connection, it's too close to be anything else. I mean, like, it's almost on the point of it being, almost so obvious that nobody's going to believe it. It's just like with this whole spear quest, it's like, it's so obvious that people aren't going to believe it.
I was going to just ask Maria. Maria, have I seen the spear? Have you seen it?
Seen it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you?
No, I'm asking. Well, because Defango has. Defango, have you?
Right. Well, we've seen what Defango has posted.
I haven't.
Pictures.
Have I seen it yet? Defango, can you send it to me?
Did you see that picture that the picture that KIB posted when he said that he found it and it was a troll?
Yeah.
That's the picture. That's exactly what it looks like. I mean, that's what it looks like. Exactly.
Okay.
Right, and wasn't it shown in the video that was posted on the website?
And it looks identical to the one that was posted in the video as well. So it looks like a smaller Roman spear. I mean, they said that the handle is made out of ash, so it's not the original handle. The handle is only about 800 years old, but it's the top part that's actually, the oldest part of it. And they're saying,
and most of the history says that the handle and the blade were separated.
Listen, one at a time, both of you.
Sorry.
Okay. I'm trying to think. I'm going through the feed now. I don't see it here. I just wish somebody would send it to me so I don't have to waste time scrolling. The original, the Spear of Destiny that is in, I think it's in Austria, in the museum there, which is the one that I see here in the feed. I don't know if this is the one that you've seen, but that isn't the original Spear of Destiny. I mean, that's been carbon dated and proven to be fake. So I want to make sure that this isn't the picture that you were sent. And that
No, that's not.
Okay.
It's not. It definitely looks like the one that was found in Beaumont. Like, it looks exactly like that one. That's the one that I saw.
Okay, man, this isn't helping me. Okay.
Here, I'm coming through. I'm trying to find the picture for you. I'm in front of my computer. Just give me 1 sec.
Okay, let's see here. I'm going to see if this is going to help me. Boom.
Well, they say they don't really know the original spear.
Well,
that there's a couple of versions, and
the one that Hitler chased down, that's in the museum in Austria, and that's the one that I'm looking at pictures of.
But that's the thing is, like, are you sure? Because the guy that found it, could have changed it, and if it was something like that important, I don't think that General Patton, who's very, very interested in this piece of, this thing, he was very interested in this thing. I don't think that they would have let it just go right back out into Europe so that people could be fighting about it, honestly.
Right. Well, see, if you look at the Austrian spear, which has got the gold wrap around it, right? It's been sealed up, and it's got that little gold section in the middle. What you're looking at here, that whole pointed shape that looks like a spear tip is not the spear. That is what is encasing it. The spear itself is that tiny little pointed in the middle that is wrapped with the wire. Okay, so that's why I want to see the.
You just posted it,
so
Jimmy.
I posted it to you, And if you look at the original one, this is supposed to be the one because, like, if you look at all the depictions of paintings and stuff, it doesn't look anything like the one that you see.
Right.
And the other weird thing about the one in Austria, like, they have it wrapped with all the gold, and
Right.
the thing that's in the middle of it looks way more like a nail, like it would have been one of the nails that they nailed Jesus into the cross with than it would be a spear, you know? Like,
Yeah,
this
it's a
other thing
spiky thing.
Cicada's talking about.
Right.
Looks exactly like a spear that a Roman soldier would have.
So now that I've seen this is pretty interesting. Okay, all right, now we are on it. Okay, let me go ahead and retweet this so the audience can see this. And thank you, Defango. Okay, hold on, just let me get a quick bust out. I hate doing this stuff live, but sometimes you just have to. Okay, everybody, that's what we're talking about. And watch this. This is going to do 1,000 retweets in about 2 seconds. Here we go. Very, 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 very interesting. Very interesting. Looks old, that's for sure. Or could it just be a representation? You know, just an object of this. Now, the other part that I want to jump into, and we're going to head towards a break. Defango, do you have the time to hang on with this for a little bit longer?
Sure.
Okay, good. Because I want to start talking about some of this astrology and astronomy that has come into play. We have the bear. We have the lion. We have the Templars coming into play. We have the Spear of Destiny. There are other missing objects around the world that I'm wondering could come into play, such as the Ark or maybe the Holy Grail. And if they are looking for some of these lost items in history, the lost works of Shakespeare, I don't know, is this going to come into play too as well? And that to me would also confirm Cicada's direct connection to people with knowledge. You know, and what is the end game behind that? What is it? That's the big question for me. Do you have any indication that they are on the lookout for like the Holy Grail or the Ark?
Honestly, in my opinion, after dealing with all this, I believe that they're the Knights Templar come back.
Yeah, it's kind of got that feel to it, doesn't it?
It really does, and you know, like now they're got us going out and like finding these things, and you know, like nobody's ever done anything like this before, so there's nothing that you can really match it up to. So it's just kind of up in the air of what it could really truly be, but you know, it's been going on for a very long time. Now,
Defango, I should ask Maria the same question. For you, when you're dealing with this crazy-ass math, right? I mean, it's crazy math, numbers that I can't contemplate and how they are pieced together. How do you do that? Do you see numbers in color? I mean, how do you work through that part of the puzzle?
Or like, I don't know, when I look at the numbers, I just kind of, I'm looking for repeating, I'm looking for different types of associations. Like, I look for patterns in numbers, basically, and like you can kind of see them, doubles and triples. And the more that you go through different types of algorithms, you know, for encryption, you realize it's like there's basically a trick to every single one of them. It's like solving a Rubik's Cube. Like, once you know the pattern, it's basically, you know, how fast can you do it?
Well, that answers that question for me because I have spent months on a Rubik's Cube and got nowhere. I am so impressed with it. When I watch how some of this is done, and, you know, it's one thing to understand that, but it's another thing to be able to tie it into encryption. This is Fade to Black. We have Defango and Maria. We'll be right back.
This is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
KGRA Radio. Intelligent talk.
Do you know what's in your body soap? Well, I didn't know the answer until about 5 years ago when I looked at the label of my soap and was shocked to see all the chemicals. For my entire life, I had been assaulting the largest organ of my body, my skin, and to think my children were using it too. Well, a lot has changed since then. Today, my family and I operate Stone City Farms, where we make and sell all natural goat milk soap using fresh goat milk from goats we raise on our farm. Our mission at Stone City Farm is to produce high-quality, all-natural goat milk soap for people who want a fresh, unrefined, natural product. At Stone City Farms, we offer scented and unscented soaps and a signature line of gift sets customizable to your needs. To see what our customers are saying, go to StoneCityFarm.com. Use the code NATURAL for a 20% discount. That's StoneCityFarm.com, code NATURAL for 20% off your order. You never know what could be hiding in your soap.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on the smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Would you like relief from muscle pain, headaches, and discomfort to sleep better, have more energy during the day, and just feel naturally amazing? Fibromalic can help. Its blend of malic acid and magnesium can provide pain relief and comfort for those who experience fibromyalgia. It helps your body absorb more oxygen, and it works quickly for a significant reduction in pain within 48 hours, all without a prescription. Ask for Fibromalic at health and vitamin shops or shop fibromalic.com.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn
it. This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, the planet. This portion of the show is brought to you by Life Change Tea. Go right now, click on the banners over at jimmychurchradio.com. It's going to take you to getthetea.com. It's that simple. Just use the promo code Jimmy, either over the phone or online, and you're going to get yourself free shipping. My advice, go to the specials page and start clicking. All right, tonight we're talking, it's Fadernight. It's open lines. We haven't had a chance to take any phone calls tonight because we're talking about Cicada 3301. We have live from Sweden, Maria, one of our Fadernight family that's been working on this puzzle for a long time. And, of course, Defango. Now, I'm going to ask both of you the same question. Defango, you first. If you found out that if I told you that the NSA was behind this, would this change your view of Cicada or Tengri, and would you stop playing the game? Defango, are you there? Wow.
Yeah, I would not stop playing the game. I would actually just keep going with it.
So if it was the NSA that was behind it, it doesn't change your view. It's still a challenge.
Yeah, it's still a challenge. It doesn't change my view. I like a challenge, that's why I do these things, because, they are difficult, and, it seems that there is a reward. I mean, I'm sitting here with a letter from, that's older than me, that's basically priceless. So I'd say that that's pretty much, evidence in itself on why I do this sort of thing.
Now, if the NSA offered you a gig, do you disappear? Do you go? Do you take it?
I mean, if they offered me a gig, I mean, I would probably take it for sure. But the problem is I smoke marijuana because cannabis is basically,
they don't care.
So
they
probably wouldn't want me.
They don't care. They would buy you the bong collection of doom if they could. Yeah, I don't think they care. What about you, Maria? If you found out it was the NSA that was behind this, some 3-letter agencies behind this out there to recruit, would you stop playing the game? Would it change your view?
Well, I no, but I really don't think that's it. Not this time, anyway. I don't think this is anything to do with recruiting. And if it is NSA, I still think it's a disclosure type deal. They're trying to inform us of something. It's a message of some sort that they're trying to get out there.
Now, Defango, this letter has caused quite a stir. I don't know. I haven't seen your latest video. Have you posted it?
Yeah, I posted it already. I'm actually when I started the call with you, I was actually live streaming me scanning these things right now. So I'm uploading them to Dropbox. I did like really, really high res scans, like 4200 DPI. So like everybody will be able to go and help me decrypt this thing, because I mean I'm really enlisting people's help out there, because I know enough French to get by, but I'm going to need a lot of eyes looking at this thing, because we're going to need a consensus on, whether this is actually recipes or if it's something that's got something hidden inside of it.
Yeah, man.
A lot of these recipes seem kind of weird, like cod and fish or cod and eggs, and then eggs made or omelets with egg inside. Like doesn't make sense.
Right.
Even for, from a chef's perspective, it's like, who the heck would put these two things together?
Right. Well, I can't wait to see it. Have you had it authenticated?
I haven't had it authenticated. I literally got it like pretty much yesterday. So, I mean, I got home today, I scanned it, doing all the stuff so I can put it out there, and then I'm planning on heading over to possibly the University of Arizona, and I'm going to have them authenticate it for me and, basically verify it.
If it is a recipe for food, you're a chef, you're going to cook the meal?
Oh, yeah, definitely going to cook the meals. Like, I got that going down. I'm talking to one of my friends who actually got me into cooking. His name is Laurent Lau. He runs a pastry shop called Merce in Scottsdale, Arizona. So I'm going to go to him, and we're going to try to decrypt the letter itself and then kind of go over it and make the food and, make it something out of it. Because, I mean, it's definitely something that I've never seen before in my lifetime, and I don't even think he's seen it, and he loves that kind of stuff.
Merce in Scottsdale. What street's it on?
I believe it's on let me look it up, actually.
Well, it's okay. I'm just wondering
if I've
been...
It's on Indian School and Miller. It's on the corner of Indian School and Miller.
Yeah, I know that corner. I just don't know if I've been there, but...
It used to be... Yeah, it's like a nice little spot.
Well, he just got the plug of doom. So there you go. Merci on Miller and Indian School. Okay. Right around the corner from my old favorite music store, the Guitar Shop. Right there, man. Right there. Indian School in Scottsdale. Okay. Now let's discuss this astronomical aspect of it. Before we go there, do you think that there is something else in that letter that may be invisible, some type of invisible ink, or something that you can only see with infrared or black light? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, I have thought about that, and I've kind of gone over it a little bit. Right now I'm in my process. I'm scanning the letter as we speak. I literally, got on the call with you, started scanning it, and the next things that I'm going to be doing are blacklighting it, doing all the tests that I can do myself, and then I think I might actually even do a hidden ink test, kind of like the same way that they did in what's called National Treasure.
Right,
where we
use
a little bit of acid to see if anything is actually hidden on the paper itself. I mean, it seems pretty thick, and it's made out of hemp, so I mean, it's not going to rot, it's not going to fall apart. So, and it's already lasted this long, so I'm just going to take really good care of it and try to make sure that I'm doing it correctly, because I really want to know if there's anything there. I've never had the chance to touch this kind of document or work with it, so
totally
I want to
cool.
make sure that I do it right.
What's the date on the document?
There isn't actually a date on the document. I mean, it looks like it's a leaflet of paper that just, like somebody wrote down some recipes, it looks like, but it doesn't look like what a traditional chef book, recipe book would look like, because, like we do find those, and they're usually bound. Like this is a loose leaf piece of paper, and the weird thing about, like, especially with recipes, is most chefs don't write their recipes down, and it's even rarer that a chef would write their recipe down on a piece of paper like this, like they were going to give it to somebody. Like that's almost like something that would never happen.
Yeah,
so maybe it's
like,
not really
people
a recipe.
Keep their recipes to themselves, like that's how it is in the cooking industry. And when you start giving out your recipes like that, like you're doing something that's really weird and not at all what happens normally in cooking, I feel like.
Now, one of the things that I've been tripping on with this is the statement, remember the future. I have a very twisted mind when it comes to stuff like this, and I see that, and I always hope that we're going to have a breakthrough or some type of confirmation on either time travel or the ability to see the future. We have quantum computing. There's a lot of parallel world confirmation and quantum theory and so forth. So we're on the brink of a lot of different things. Cicada is so interesting on how all of this is now starting to tie together. And with that countdown clock and being able to possibly predict an event that would happen on a specific day. Then we have, with a countdown clock and the sevens, and then this remember the future statement. So, Maria, what do you think remember the future means?
Well, maybe that the past always repeats itself.
Okay.
It could have something to do with CERN.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. Defango.
Well, because if I remember in one of the videos, and Defango, you can chime in on this. One of the emails from Z I saw in the video had a Swiss. It was a Switzerland address. .ch.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So immediately my mind went to CERN.
Defango, remember the future. What does that mean to you?
I mean, I believe that remember the future, like she was saying, is that, history repeats itself. Nothing is random in the sense that, DNA is eventually going to repeat itself. Like right now there's somebody that looks exactly like you. That's not even related to you, probably somewhere in the world right now. And that's true for pretty much of it. That's anyone that's out there right now. And I believe that remember the future is a calling, because like everything that we're doing right now, we're basically preparing to what is going to come in the future, because there might be another big reveal, or there might be, an event. Like this year is a really weird year. We have the total solar eclipse that's going to go across the United States. And then exactly, I believe, like a month later, there's another, huge galactic alignment that only happens every 7,000 years. So it's literally the first time that any of us have ever seen it. And there's like two right after each other, literally a month apart.
Well,
very weird.
Yeah, that's true. And then in 2018, we're going to have a supernova. We're going to have a new star in the sky. And that is going to be interesting, too, as well. The possibility, the reason why the Knights Templar side of this is so bleeping cool. In our circle, Defango, you're now part of this, our circle, and it's a big group, by the way. But when I say our circle, the Knights Templar is something that we investigate and we study here. We study lost history. And the Knights Templar, what happened to them is one thing, but it's the history way before that. We study it constantly. We've wondered where they went to. I mean, could it be Oak Island? Could it be Rosslyn Chapel? Could it all of these different historic sites around the world, going all the way back to Jerusalem and the Temple of Solomon, that they possessed biblical artifacts and knowledge that they got from the tunnels in Jerusalem, spirited those out of the Mediterranean, brought those over to probably France first, over to Scotland, and then possibly over here to the United States. But we don't know. That's where the trail goes cold, right? It just does. For you to spin this right back on the Knights Templar, you're holding a letter that's in French, and that's obviously very interesting. Do you think that it's the Knights Templar using the internet to do a slow reveal to the world that they are here, they possess knowledge, and they do have those biblical artifacts that have been rumored over all of these years?
Mm-hmm. Well, if you think about it, and, honestly, you got to realize is that I actually had the chance to sit down and talk with individuals, and like I've told you before, I have more information than I'm willing to share, but enough of information to know veritably and, almost 100% that, what I'm talking about and what I'm saying right now is basically what I was told to tell you guys, because it's no longer like we're looking at things from the sides. It's like what you guys are thinking, many of the things that you guys think seem to be very, very correct, like when you talk about WikiLeaks or when you talk about these other things, if it's connected and it seems like it's all too connected, don't you think that it's probably connected? Synchronicity works like that. That's how it really is.
It does. Everything is connected, right? It just is. And I'm really glad that you look at it like that. I will say this, Defango, I know and have all of the connections that would be needed for maybe some historical reference here, right? I know those people. So we'll talk about all of that offline. We're not going to do it here on the show, but there are people out there that are experts in this field that you do not know, right? You're not in this circle, and there are ways to go and take this stuff a step further, right? And it's very interesting. And again, synchronicity is something that you can't ignore. You can't. There's a reason why Maria found you. There's a reason why you're on this show tonight. There's a reason why you have that letter. We can go back and back and back. Everything happens for a reason, but I find it very interesting through the people that I've talked to over the last couple of weeks, how things have started to funnel through, not only through you, but through this show and through our Fadernight family.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting how everything works, right? It kind of reminds me of Fight Club a little bit,
It does.
It is. Rule of Fight Clubs: we don't talk about Fight Clubs. We make your food, we make your everything.
You never ignore it. Now, what do you think? No, I'm going to ask Maria first. Maria, what do you think is at the end of 2017 with this puzzle? Is it going to end with a bang, or are we going to fizzle? What do you think?
I hope it's not going to fizzle. I'm hoping that it's going to be some sort of a bang. I don't think it's going to go to the end of the year. I don't know that any of the puzzles actually lasted all year, or did they? Or did they even finish?
Well,
some of them didn't even get finished, that seems.
Yeah,
that's right. Well, I was speaking with Greg Hausch last week, and he seemed pretty confident, that obviously that he knows who Cicada is, and I don't care. I don't want to do that kind of exposure. I don't think it's cool. I'd rather keep it secret. Some things you just don't want to know. I'd rather just enjoy the suspense. But that the puzzles have not been solved. There's a lot of people that have claimed it, right? But what do you think about that? Have any of them officially been solved?
I feel like I actually asked this question myself, and because I was wondering about it, and according to from what I asked, if you go over all of the puzzles for all of the years, only 21% of the puzzles have been solved.
Right, and this is what I said to Greg. The person that solves this, right, the one that gets to the bottom of that really does. You would not have an announcement on YouTube or the internet or Twitter that you've solved the puzzle. I think that person, I'm serious, man. I'm serious. That person, you'll never hear from again. You won't.
Yep.
You just won't. He will be hired by a corporation. He'll be swallowed up by the NSA. She is a very very unique individual with some very unique talents and a talent set where they serious business. I don't think you would never know, right? Am I right in saying it like that? You wouldn't know. It wouldn't be posted on Twitter.
Maybe they're not all supposed to be solved.
Maybe they
never
should
know.
I don't think. I'm serious. If you really got into, they said, okay, all right, meet us at this coffee shop in Kansas City, right? Or whatever, and you walk in, that is the last you will see of normal society. I'm sure that would be.
I don't think that's true because I'm still here.
Well, but we haven't gotten to the end. This could be our last conversation, though.
It could be. I mean, I don't know. I could disappear tomorrow. Who knows?
That's
maybe there could be some more things that come out. I think it's really just, a matter of perception based on imagination. People are making this. This is a real life thing that's happening all over the world, and people are coming together and working together on this, and it's really, really changing the fabric of our society. Because, people aren't sitting in front of the TV anymore. They're actually utilizing the technology that's in front of them, and they're starting to realize that, there's a lot better things that we could do with our time. Like programs where we're exploring, the stuff that the main guys won't do. Or, like the history that we keep getting over and over and over and over again that just, we know that it's not the full truth, yet we all accept it and are just cool with it. And it seems like, these guys want people to learn about the actual reality of things that we live in, or the things that maybe we weren't taught in school or that we don't know enough about, because it's all relevant to our life.
Well, and what about the other aspect where Cicada was obviously upset with the sharing of information? They didn't want to have a hive mind solve the puzzle. They wanted to have somebody with those skill sets figure it out on their own and not go public with it and post these, as they were solving different stages of it, right? How are they comfortable with you, A, being on this show, B, posting videos on YouTube and showing your progression, and obviously you've been getting advice and people also talk to you about what you're doing. So are they cool with that, or do they want you to stay singular and keep to yourself?
I think because the puzzle is evolving and changing. I think in the beginning they didn't like it when people were working together because, they wanted to only find the best, but, that actually didn't get them the best. That got them people that were really smart, but not all of them had all of exactly the skill sets that they're looking for. And It seems that to me that when they get into these puzzles and, they're looking for these people and we're doing all these things, I was told directly that, basically, there wasn't any rule against not working together, but, when I did my streams, I explained, why I was doing this, what for, and then even when I was working on the puzzles, I wasn't just asking for other people to give me the answers. I was like, all right, I got it. Okay, have you got it? All right, let's see if we can give a consensus on, okay, I did it this way, this is what I got, and then other people would do the same way, and, we would basically work like a blockchain, a human blockchain, and verifying each of the parts of the puzzle, and, if 3 different people say, okay, you know what, I got the same thing, so that's got to be it, then we can move on. Because, it's about solving the puzzles, but I think it's just that they don't want you to, slingshot somebody up to the top that's just going to, blow the whole thing away. And, I kind of did bring a lot of attention to these puzzles, but the thing is they've been around for a long time. I just feel like I was the first person to just kind of be like, why not? Let's just do it and see what happens. I was basically trying to troll them, and I'll be honest, I'm pretty sure I got trolled in the end.
Right? Oh, man. DEFCON.
If the next 3 days are any consolation, and it's like my life has been a literal what the hell or what the heck.
Well, it's like
W2F.
Yeah, it's like DEFCON 5 for Defango. Let me ask you this. Are you married?
I'm not married.
Are you in a relationship?
I'm not even in a currently relationship. I'm in a relationship with this puzzle right now.
That's where I was going. You are exactly who they need. Well, this is obviously we're going to talk off of the air and stay in touch. But what I would like is to invite you back on the show. Maybe we can have a little update next Thursday night. But I think these are exciting times. I cannot get enough of Cicada. I cannot get enough of Tengri, and
You want to know about Tengri?
Yes, I do.
You want me to give that reveal about Tengri? Because, I mean, we should probably do it because a lot of people are going to look into this one. But basically right now, I know that they're probably listening, and I want to call them out.
Okay, go ahead.
What I noticed is that once they posted on my videos, I was like, wait a minute, I can actually track where this comes from, because when you have post-YouTube videos, you can see where the views are coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what I noticed? That every time I post a video about Tengri 137, I get a video that comes from Israel. So I keep looking at over the puzzle, and I start going over, the math that's not actually perfect on some of the pages, and there are mistakes. And then, the reversal of the writing is the same way that, somebody would read Hebrew.
Mm.
And then you look at the actual mathematics, and most of this stuff is basically the Kabbalah, like they're talking about the Kabbalah and everything. So in my opinion, based on, the evidence that I've seen, the posts, every time, I post a Tengri video, the first people that are seeing it is in Israel, even though every other video that I have posted is in different places. And I think that they didn't realize that, I guess Mossad didn't realize that, you can find this shit out about them. And to me, it just seems like they're trying to make their own little Cicada thing. Because think about it, they're talking about the Spear of Destiny. And, that's kind of a negative part in their religion. But the reality of the whole thing is just like, if you have the spear and you just hold it, you'll win everything. But if you try to use it on somebody else, you're basically going to lose.
So you think that Tengri 137 is the Mossad?
Yeah, the Mossad. I think it's the Israeli Special Forces team creating, they got all their mathematicians together and then basically shared a bunch of knowledge that was based on Bible, gematria, and math. Because when we look at the name, they use the tetragrammaton for most of their clues. At the same time, they're using an old Turkic script that is kind of related to their religion very, very carefully. But then the biggest part about the whole thing that makes me know it is, like, if you've ever read the Talmud, in the Talmud it says very clearly that the Jewish people were not from here. They're aliens, and they've been here just as long as us.
And which is, and the Talmud is their book of law.
Yeah, it's their book of law. Like, that's what you read to know who you are and what you are. And, it says very clearly in there that Jewish people are from another planet. Like, they say that they're aliens, and they came here a long time ago, and they've been here the entire time. So, if you put all that together, basically they're explaining the Jewish people in the whole and, their basis of view and their viewpoint on how the world is. And, in the Jewish view, everything's based on mathematics, and the prime creator is a mathematician. They don't believe the same thing like a Christian person would, as in like a really holy God and Father. So I'm looking at Mossad right now saying, I know it's you guys, I can prove it by, basic little nitpicky things that they probably just never even thought about, oh yeah, you're going to go comment on my video and you're going to keep watching them because you want to see where I'm going with it, but then you screw up and you don't actually use a VPN so I can see exactly where all the views are coming from. I mean, what kind of child's play is that?
Yeah, why would
you're supposed to be Israeli Special Forces,
yes,
the best of the best, and this little chud from Casa Grande, Arizona, nobody is, figuring your shit out. Yeah, you had me busted for a little bit. I was like, whoa, this is amazing. But then, after I came back down to reality, I'm like, okay, well, now I got you.
Right. So they're not using they're not using a VPN. Yeah, that's right. That's wow. Okay. Well, I expect an email from the Mossad before dawn. So when it does come in, I'll get back to you, Defango. We'll take it from there.
Yeah, let me know if it's them. I guess they've been watching my videos and stuff. I was actually about to make another one and just be like, boom, what's up now, boys? Come at me, bros.
Yeah, man. Defango, just congratulations, okay? And
thank you.
It's very exciting times that we are in, and let's stay on top of this letter. Let's talk off of the air. And Maria, thank you so much. All right. And I've got to head to a commercial break, so I'll say goodnight to the both of you. And next Thursday, we'll go ahead and do an update. All right. In the meantime,
sounds fantastic.
You guys behave. All right.
We will.
Thanks.
And you have yourself a good time. And keep your eyes posted on Monday. New things.
Yeah. Well, on top of that, Defango, sleep with one eye open, dropping the Mossad bomb here on the show. This is Fade to Black. Thank you, Maria. The best. Nothing like Fadernauts. I've got to take a quick break. When I come back, I'm going to open up the phone lines. 323-825-5045. 323-825-5045. You know, Maria, if I can get you to hang on, just stay right there. Don't go anywhere. Thank you, Defango. Drop the Mossad bomb. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night. It is Fader night. Phone lines are open. 323-825-5045. I'll be right back.
Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I had gout in both my knees, and it's gone.
Well, I'm pretty stupid. I should have ordered it 15 years ago. Best thing I ever got in my... It's the most effective product that I've ever bought in my life.
He had eczema on his hand, and it cracked for years. Mm-hmm. He did anything from doctor, every cream, everything. And 3 months on the veggies and fruit, it was gone.
They're just awesome. They keep asking me, what am I doing? I told them what I did with my cholesterol. I had the blood test, right? And it went down 100 points. 262, now it's 162. Everything is just perfect.
Call now to find out how to get your free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Call now, 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code TSL.
Would odors, mold, and mildew describe your basement or crawl space? It doesn't have to be that way. Transform them into a fresh, healthy, usable one with the technologically advanced Wave Moisture Control Units. The computerized operation maximizes moisture control and also expels harmful radon, combustion gases, and numerous other pollutants. Dehumidifiers are old technology that do nothing for air quality and waste energy. Wave units are intelligent, self-monitoring, do not need maintenance, and will save you hundreds in electricity. Wave units are still running effectively over 15 years. They've been tested and installed in public and military housing and by property managers nationwide. Buy a unit now, and if your home is not fresher and drier, you can return it for a full refund for up to 12 months. What have you got to lose? Call now. 1-888-618-WAVE. 1-888-618-WAVE. Or visit mydryhome.com. That's mydryhome.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
What's up, Fadernauts? Studio Dome loves Fade to Black and the F2B audience so much that they have put together the ultimate stereo Bluetooth system. They've done it just for you. Man, check this out. The Studio Dome SBB2 stereo system is here. It's featuring 2 Studio Boombox 2 SBB2 wireless Bluetooth speakers, packed in its own custom hardshell case. This Studio Dome system features the very latest in stereo Bluetooth technology. The 2 full-range boomboxes are in true wireless stereo. You've got to hear this. It's amazing. It's just $129, and use the promo code JCRTWS, and you'll also get free shipping. It's simple. Just go to JimmyChurchRadio.com, click on the Studio Dome banner. Go Beckley Teppy.
This is Kristen, Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. How'd you like that, kids? Yeah, man. Cicada 3301. Thank you, Defango. Maria's still with us here. Hi, Maria. You still there?
Yeah.
I just wanted to say thank you for that. Stay right there because check this out. A veteran State Department employee has been charged with making false statements to the FBI about gifts that she received from the Chinese intelligence agents. And a criminal complaint unsealed yesterday accuses Candace Marie Claiborne, who appeared before a judge, of concealing her contacts with the intelligence agents and failing to report gifts that she received from them, including, an iPhone, laptops, international travel, cash, that kind of stuff. She is 60 years old. She was arrested on Tuesday. Family members who were in court declined to comment on her behalf. Prosecutors said that 2 intelligence agents provided Claiborne, who joined the State Department back in 1999 and served in different overseas locations, and her family with thousands of dollars in gifts and benefits over 5 years. Claiborne has served overseas, check this out, embassies in Baghdad, Iraq, Khartoum, Sudan, Beijing, and Shanghai, China. She actually wrote in her journal, and I'm quoting here, that she could generate $20,000 in 1 year through her work with intelligence agents. She wrote that in her journal, and that was presented in court. If convicted, Claiborne faces 20 years in prison. While in court Wednesday, she pled not guilty. Now, the reason why I read that, Maria, is when we're talking about Tengri 137 and Defango just dropping the Mossad bomb. Right, this is the dark underworld of, we're talking about the NSA and the CIA and Cicada 3301. I think that he's comfortable in his puzzle working and his contacts and what is going on. But, and I hope that he's listening right now, you've got to be careful. Here with Tengri, Tengri 137, you're plugging along, you're having a fun time with this game, and there's all this talk about alien contact being there. I've been watching the puzzle get solved and watching the videos on it. All of that is all fun and game. Then you find out, boom, right, that it could be the Mossad. And dropping that on this show, just, you got to be careful. Now, that's it. It's a live show. He said it. I said it. We're done with that. We can't turn back time.
Out there.
It's out there now. So what do you think is ultimately going on? Do you think that do you feel like the spirit is one of good? I know that Defango says that.
In the beginning, I felt like there was this underlying dark energy. I kind of backed off because it felt kind of, why I backed off. Because of that phone number.
That phone number was trippy.
And I wanted to ask him about that, and I forgot to bring it up.
Yeah, I didn't go there either.
Right.
And I spaced it myself. I had so many questions to ask.
But it tripped me out. Once I got that phone number came over, once I got that phone call, I decided I was putting it down. That was just too bizarre.
Yeah, and going into a conference call room with strangers, and you're getting text messages, and now you are exposed, and all you did was dial there. There's a darkness. You don't know who is there, and you don't know now who knows who you are, because clearly they do, right?
Right, and that one guy that called in and said he was the guy that I was talking to on the phone.
Right.
Wow, what are the odds of that?
Yeah, that was pretty trippy.
That was true, number one. And he also said, well, I'd like to work with you on the puzzle. I haven't seen him since.
Oh, interesting. Oh, really?
Yeah, so...
And he said he was a 3-letter agency guy.
Yeah, he said he was,
implied that he was
He was an alphabet dude.
Yeah, he was an alphabet dude. Yeah, I forgot about that.
That kind of tripped me out. And then the phone call
that
I got.
Yeah.
It was like, no, I'm out. But then, within 48 hours, I was sucked right back in.
What was said on the phone call?
Nothing. They called and hung up.
And what was the phone number?
I actually sent you the phone number.
Yeah. Yes.
I sent it to Rito. Do you want me to actually say it on air?
No. What I want you to do is tell me, did you recognize the number is where I'm going?
No, no, it told me it was from Russia.
Right.
And I did some research on it. And what was odd about it was the area code that it came from within Russia is not a typical Russian phone number.
Yeah, what you're saying? It wasn't Moscow. It wasn't Kiev. The Ukraine. It wasn't St. Petersburg.
Right. It was like its own secret entity. Its own area code.
Wow.
And so I couldn't figure it out, but the phone itself recognized that it was a phone number in Russia. But if you look up Russian area codes, that area code did not exist. So it tripped me out because I'm thinking, well, what kind of secret, where did this come from?
Well, you can spoof phone numbers too. So is it possible to spoof an area code that doesn't exist? Can you just...
I guess. I don't know that it would actually... I don't know that the phone would recognize it as a number. Wouldn't it actually come through as unknown?
No, not... look, I'm not an expert here. But right. I know that I have had friends text me from numbers that weren't theirs. So I would call that number to see who was sending me this crazy text, whatever it's about. Hey, did you go fishing today or whatever? And then you call and it's Wells Fargo, right? And so they're able to plug in any phone number in, if you have that software program downloaded on your phone, that you can do that. So,
I guess.
So could you plug in a number and an area code that doesn't exist?
I suppose it's possible. I don't know. I mean, I worked for the phone company for years, but I just don't know, especially when it comes to overseas numbers.
Right.
I just don't have enough knowledge there. The fact that it only rang once and hung up, sometimes that's a way of getting you to call the number back.
That's it, of course. And they want to see if your number is live and that it is correct. That's always scary. The only way to do that is to get a burner phone, and then dial that number and see what happens.
And I don't know if they can connect to your phone.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean?
No.
You can call a cell phone, and I don't know if the person has to answer it or not answer it, but you can actually infect the phone.
Oh, yeah, I see where you're going there.
So it was just bizarre because it rang once and then that was that. And it said, this is the number, it's Russia.
And you got the Russia from the country code, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Man, wow, bizarre. Well, Cicada 3301, man. It's the gift that
Worldwide.
keeps on giving. Yeah, it's the gift that keeps on giving. And I don't know ultimately what the reason why I was saying, is this going to end with a bang or a fizzle? The other 6 puzzles were in the end non-eventful. Now, but why is that? Is that because somebody solved the puzzle and you never heard from them again? I want to drive that point home. You don't, when everybody says, the puzzles haven't been solved, it's just because you don't know if they've been solved or not. I want to make that really clear. You got to be in that mindset. If you really got to the end and you went to some dark place in Tor, right, some crazy website in Tor, or to a physical location, the fact that the puzzle was solved is not going to go public. They just know that you are the guy that solved it, or the girl, Right? Do you understand what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So that's why the end of each one of these has been uneventful. Nobody has posted, I've solved it, and this is what happened. And so, no, I don't think that's ultimately what would happen. And I think Defango's in agreement with me on that. I don't think somebody that is of that magnitude of intelligence and that has that skill set is going to turn around and advertise on the web that they solved it. I don't think it's going to happen. It just wouldn't happen that way. It would be
maybe not.
No, it would be cool. I get it that it would. Right? That we find out that it's been solved. But if you're that guy, if you're that girl that solved the puzzle, no, you're not going public. And they wouldn't have you go public.
It's different this time. And I think if you asked Defango, he would probably agree that this time it's different. It doesn't feel the same as the previous puzzle releases, the previous years.
Well, there's also physical things that are going on now that didn't happen before. The only physical side of Cicada 3301, I could be wrong here, were the posting of the flyers at different locations around the world, right? That was as physical as it got. But now we're talking about the possibility of historical documents, the Spear of friggin' Destiny coming into play. Yeah. The possibility of this being the Knights Templar, which, again, once we go, it's like we know the ending to this movie. Whenever we bring in the Knights Templar to Oak Island, or we bring in the Knights Templar to the Da Vinci Code, or Rosalind Chapel, or you know what I mean? Once we start to go into that zone, we're getting into an area that there is no ending. There is no closure here. We're not going to have closure because it just doesn't exist. It's not there for us to find, right? It's just not there.
Right.
Is the Holy Grail, is it out there for us to find? No. I just don't. I don't believe that. If the Grail does exist, and it probably does in some context, if it does exist, we're not going to find it. The Ark of the Covenant, if it does exist, are we going to find the Spear of Destiny? If it exists, are we going to discover? Or is this now the point of achieving closure on all of this for humankind? I mean, can you imagine if biblical artifacts like what is happening here are actually starting to surface? Holy crap. We have to rewrite all of history, don't we?
Well, I think that's kind of part of it. And religion aside, I think the history, I think it's showing us that the history is not what we think it is.
Well, and no, as we've been taught. But that
right, that's what I mean.
Yeah, that history is what we think it is.
What we think it is.
Right.
But not what it's been taught. What has been taught in the schools, to the mass public.
Well, if we go with the basic of Templar history, and the Templar, let's just call it, for lack of a better term, urban legend.
Right.
Okay? If we take that as being real, then the urban legend is, the Templar history is they found out some secret stuff. They took that knowledge, whether it was written or a physical thing, right? The true cross, pieces of the true cross, the spear of, or whatever, and they actually got this stuff out of Jerusalem, and they were in possession with the ultimate knowledge, the ultimate power, the ultimate of everything, and the answers to all the questions that we have, and they really had that information, and now they're getting ready to say, okay, here it is, it's real, and this is what is about to happen. That's pretty nuts. That's pretty crazy. That's a game changer. That is something that, could you imagine the coverage worldwide that is coming into play here? Now, I meant to go at Defango about this. I'll do the same thing with you. He just pointed at Israel and Tengri 137 coming into play here. There's a direct connection right there to all of this. Now, could it be ultimately that the two of them are connected? I'm talking about Cicada 3301, the puzzles, the Knights Templar, Jerusalem, back to the Mossad, and back to Jerusalem, and an alien connection being tied together with all of this. Now, would that be whack?
Yeah, well, I have kind of strong feelings about the alien subject, but I think there is a tie-in there, a big one. And that's where I think this is going.
Yeah, ultimately it could. I mean,
that's
wow.
just my feeling. That's my gut feeling.
Wow. Wouldn't it be
cool?
That
the history is going to reveal what we, the Fadernauts, already know.
Yeah. And I kind of feel like the show tonight and the way that this is, it's one thing to be on YouTube or, to be on the net, but to go public on the show like we did tonight live and have it documented and then move forward, that wouldn't that be exciting if the Fadernauts and the family here, that we could all be, part of this and use our expertise and our connections and all of the researchers and the people that we know and the people that are running the background here at Fade to Black that people don't know about, that this could all be part of something. I kind of feel like something happened tonight.
It feels like something big.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Part of something huge,
Well, now, Maria, I'm going to let you go. Go keep doing your research, all right? Keep us posted. And again, this whole Mossad thing and your Russian phone call, be careful out there, will you?
Yeah, ouch.
All right. Thank you so much. Great conversation with you tonight. Big things are afoot, and we'll pick this thing up next Thursday. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Maria from Sweden. Yeah, can you kind of feel the vibe? Can you feel the vibe? There's something going on here, folks. Something going on. I'll say this. Rita and I had a private conversation last week, and with the things that we are looking at and the things that Rita and I are dealing with over, it feels like, we know some things, sure, but I'm just saying it feels like there's something coming to a head. I'm just saying, it just kind of feels that way to me and to Rita. So let's just see how the next 7 days play out here. Very interesting. All right. I've got a couple of minutes left. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Defango. Great conversations tonight. And, of course, Jon Rappoport. Just absolutely amazing. But I've got some stuff here that I've got to get out. And the first one's not so funny. The second one is out of the world. Just follow me on this. The United States, Britain, and France are among 40 countries that will not join talks on a nuclear weapons ban treaty starting at the United Nations 2 days ago. The countries skipping the negotiations are instead committed to the Non-Proliferation Treaty, which entered into force in 1970 and is aimed at preventing the spread of nuclear weapons and weapons technology. The United Nations General Assembly adopted a resolution in December, 113 in favor, 35 against, with 13 abstentions, that decided to negotiate a legally binding instrument to prohibit nuclear weapons, leading towards their total elimination, and encouraged all member states to participate. Well, 48 nations said no. That's incredible. It's insane. But anyway, a man was swallowed whole by a 23-foot-long python on the island of Sulawesi in Indonesia. Now, this is one of those stories that it just sounds like fake news, but this actually happened. A 25-year-old man identified as Akbar was reported missing by villagers Monday night, this past Monday, after realizing he hadn't returned from working on his palm oil crops the previous day. Search party found scattered palm oil fruit, a picking tool, and his boots. And then spotted the engorged reticulated python. A horrifying, yes, I've seen it, a horrifying 6-minute video on the website for the Tribune Timur newspaper shows villagers slicing open the python's carcass to reveal the legs and torso of Akbar. Yeah, put that in your frontal lobes. Well, okay, here we go. One of my guitar heroes, seriously, Dickie Betts, his wife, Dickie Betts of the Allman Brothers, his wife has been arrested and is accused of pointing a rifle at the members of a rowing team in Florida. Donna Betts was charged yesterday with 18 counts of aggravated assault with a firearm. A 911 caller said the woman was standing on the dock behind her home Monday, pointing a rifle toward about 100 teens and coaches from the Sarasota Crew rowing team, and they were just there in their boats on a nearby dock. Arrest records say that Donna Betts threatened to shoot them, and then she called 911, saying that the rowers, check this, have destroyed her life. Now, this is what you do. Destroyed her life. Google Dickie Betts' house. Check it out. Check out the first photo that pops up, and use your imagination. We're talking about Dickie Betts here, who's probably worth, I don't know, $50 million, right? And take a look at that house and look at that dock. You don't even see neighbors. What was she upset? A rich woman like that walking out on the back deck of that house with the guitar-shaped pool, waving a gun at kids, at teenagers. Well, she's been arrested. There you go. 18 counts of aggravated assault with a firearm. Russia, something pretty cool, but something pretty trippy, has a project for a nuclear-propelled submarine which would carry seismological equipment instead of missiles. An advanced research official has said the vessel would be used to explore, are you ready? The Arctic. The project of the first ever nuclear sub for civilian use was revealed by Viktor Litvinenko, head of the project group for the Advanced Research Fund, a state agency with close ties to the military. Now, the pre-designs and the specifications of the vessel are, it's going to be 135 meters long, it's going to be 14 meters wide, it's going to run at 12.6 knots submerged, and a test depth of 400 meters, roughly the equivalent of a Bory-class submarine. The submarine would have a crew of 40 and be capable of diving on missions lasting up to 90 days under the ice. Can you say Antarctica? And I'm going to leave you with this. The U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, the DEA, has seized $3.2 billion in cash over a 10-year period from people who were never under criminal investigation. This is according to the Justice Department Inspector General report. Agents confiscated vehicles, jewelry, houses, but mostly cash. Now, they investigated 100 out of 80,000 cash seizures. And you know what they found out? That almost all of it, nearly 100%, was nabbed on cars that they just pulled over on the freeway and said, hey, do you mind if we search your vehicle? And so they did. And if they had any cash, they just took it. And this has been another Fadernight, Thursday night, right here. Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. Want to thank everybody tonight. Jon Rappoport. Got to thank Defango. Thank you, Maria. Cicada 3301. What do you think? We're on the brink, aren't we? Fade to Black's executive producer is Rita Kamarian. Show is produced by Hilton J. Paul, Mark D. Kovar, LJ3, Renee Jonas. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vito, and Mark D. Kovar. Fady by Dale. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network. Syndication is KGRA, The Planet. Thank you to Jon Rappoport. And this broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2017 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'll be on Coast to Coast this Saturday with Richard Dolan. Until then, everybody be safe. Go Beckley Teppy.